Hello. Hopefully you can hear me. Just let me know if if all you can. So, hey there, Lubo. By the way, how are you guys tonight? They are unexpectedly decent, actually, mate. It was really cloudy up until not long ago, and then I just thought, right, let's go. Since my replacement cable arrived from the last one, you can hear me. That's awesome. Thank you so much for letting me know. Hey there, Gidas. I hope I'm getting your name correct. From Indiana. Good to see you. It's really nice to have you on a live stream, mate. Graham, good to see you. Stan, Pete. Hey, Pete, we've still got your cam going, mate, as you can see. So the replacement cable arrived. I've just got that set up. At first, I was really panicking. I thought it was broken, but it just needed to establish itself with a new COM port, luckily, and then it was fixed. That nearly gave me a bit of a heart attack, actually, but yeah, here we are. Plan is tonight, I think, to go and get some dual narrowband data on perhaps the Wall and the Pelican, as I really liked the way that thing looked, during that last live stream where we were kind of target hopping a little bit, as I thought it would make a good tutorial data set, basically. Lubo asking, could you at least try that target on the RAS to see how it turns out? Yeah, if you want, mate, we can give it a sub or two. Let's see how it turns out. So, go on then. We'll go to the cat's eye before we do anything else. Cat's eye nebula. Drop that field of view down a touch. I think that's a bit extreme. So we are just about to hit darkness for us. Astro Shed, evening buddy, how are you doing? Are you out imaging tonight? Right, so there it is, aligned up pretty good. Let's go ahead and slew and center, and I am going to have to rush outside. Before I do, I want to really make sure that this new cable doesn't get wrecked unexpectedly, you know what I mean? So just 2 seconds. Ooh, there we go. Camera connection lost. Did I even connect the camera? That's a real question. Apparently not. I don't know. Yeah. Bit of a rough start, as per usual. There's always teething problems. PhD profile not found. No. Incredible. What else is going to go wrong tonight? I'll tell you what, now we've actually slewed somewhere, before I even kick things off, I will allow PhD to do a recalibration real quick. And then we'll do a few test subs on the cat's eye for Lubo in China and see how that turns out. Oh, you're not imaging tonight, Astro Shed, bloody hell. Sorry, mate. Well, at least you can share some of my skies. There is that. Greg Mayer, cat's eyes on your list tonight in Arizona. Very nice, mate. How are your skies out there? I hope very low bottle in Arizona. Peter Raymond, good to see you. Glad it's clear skies for you. Thank you very much, mate. Bit of a surprise, I have to say. It looked really crap up until about an hour or so ago, and then it suddenly started clearing up. You know what I mean? Dimitrios, good morning. Good morning to you too, sir. Very nice to have you. Let me know your secret to your clear skies. A really huge fan just to blow away all the nearby clouds. Jim, you've had cloudy skies for a week. It's supposed to be clear tomorrow for 3 days. Yeah. Well, weather forecast looked okay for the next couple of days, but tonight seems to come as a little bit of an extra surprise for me, so I'm not going to complain, you know what I mean? Nothing but cloud here in Toronto, Canada forever, says M. Ooh. Hope it clears for you soon, mate. Let's see. Got to overexpose the core in order to get the nebulosity around. Lubo offers some advice. The BST, good to see you, buddy. How are you doing? Anybody else out actually imaging tonight? New Zealand fully clouded over. Oh no. Cloudy here as well, no surprise. Oh no, Pete. It's I seem to be the only guy with some clear skies right now. Let's see. Hey there, Simon. Hi all. No imaging here. New cable. Yes, indeed, mate. New cable arrived. Would you believe it? I got a little bit lucky and saved £4 as well off the price of a new one. Chloe noticed that on First Light Optics' website they'd had a customer return, so I thought, go on then, I'll have that. Pennies make pounds, you know what I mean? Alright, so that calibration's finished. Let's go ahead and allow this framing wizard to hopefully work now. We'll see what the extensions around the Cat's Eye Nebula look like. How long would you like me to expose these for, Lubo, before we get started on the main target? Greg is shooting tonight. Yep, ball 1 to 2. That's incredible, mate. You should have absolutely wonderful images from that. That's phenomenal. William House, clouds and storms in Iowa. Ooh. Well, I hope the storms stay well away, mate, rather than coming too close. Graham White, been slamming down rain here until 9 PM, and due here about 8 AM. Ooh. You want that set up? I'm glad to hear you like it, Robert. Thank you. Rained here most of the day too in Leicestershire. Yeah, we've had a bit of a quiet day today. It has just been raining, basically, as you say, hasn't it? It's not been a really good day. Let's try and get caught up a little bit with the chat. Groundhog Day, weather-wise. Yeah, living the same one over and over again. That's rough, buddy. So we can already see a little bit of that extension just on the plate solve exposure. So I'm going to run an autofocus. And we'll see what we can see on this one. I stole all the clear skies. I think I did, mate. I didn't mean to. I'm very sorry. Clearing Brid. Very nice, mate. I went to Seaside the other day, actually. Went to Scarborough. If you're familiar with it. Marco, good to have you in another stream. You're battling with your ASI Air, trying the new filter wheel and filters. Wow. What's the issue that's playing up there, Marco? Oh, and welcome, by the way, Jim Smith, to the channel memberships. Welcome aboard, mate. Peter Raymond, Luke, big question, if you would be so kind to answer. I'll do my best. What weather forecast do you use? I've tried them all, but find the Met Office to be the best. The Met Office. Yeah, that's what I use too, mate. I find I can't really even fully trust the Met Office, and that's an understatement. So what I do is I just look, and if it looks reasonable, then I increase the amount of frequency that I spend nipping outside to check the sky, basically. Try and make the most of every single opportunity that I can in order to, you know, bring videos and now streams to you guys. So yeah, cleared up, looks good. Let's have at it. Klexius / wave back at you, mate. 1 minute or more, asks Lubo. No problem, mate. Once this autofocus is finished, Lubo, I'll do you how's a 2 minute exposure sound. See if we can start to see those extensions. And it does have a narrowband filter in tonight. It's a L Extreme F2 edition. Michael, hello everyone. Clouds should be clearing out by 8 PM. Then it's time to set up. Nice one, mate. Best of luck to you with that one. The BST is wondering why I didn't go for the Edge 14. Money. Yeah, money mainly, and size as well to a lesser degree. I'm sure I could make a 14-inch work in this observatory, but you know, getting hold of a 14-inch Schmidt Cassegrain is pretty expensive, as I'm sure you know. There's one for sale actually here in the UK right now that keeps taunting me, but it is what it is. I've got this 11. It's very nice. You know what I mean? Sean, good to have you in a stream, mate. Send some clear skies over to New York. I would if I could. I'm sorry, mate. Scarborough's an upgrade from Skegness. It was really nice, actually. We had a pretty good day there. Sorry, I'm a little bit behind on chat, guys. On the Elephant Trunk Nebula is Scott Phoenix. Any idea why my amp glow on the Astro Cam has a red tint? Always been white. It's very odd. Could it be your auto stretch in whatever imaging software you're using is perhaps biasing towards reds for some reason? As you say, amp glow should be pretty much colorless, effectively. I hope that that's at least a little bit of a lead that you can go from. So it looks like this autofocus is finished. I'll just take we'll go for a 2-minute, gain 210, sub, we'll save it, we won't loop it. Cat's eye. Hit go on that thing, we are guiding. And we seem to be guiding pretty nice actually, tonight as well. Folks in NetExus. What the hell be on them again today? Gil, how's it going, buddy? How are you? It's so nice that you stream more often. Hey, I'm really glad to hear that, mate. Get your Astro fix here. No need to image yourself. Well, that's very nice to hear. Marco, the guiding is working really slow. Should get a frame every second, but it seems get one like every 3 seconds. That's a tough one, Marco. Are you using your usual USB ports? So you haven't accidentally plugged your guide camera. Shouldn't really matter that much, but you haven't plugged it into a USB 2 by accident, which could maybe slow things down, just perhaps. Pete says, long time since you've been in Scarborough. He goes there quite often. As your old man comes from Doncaster. Oh, nice. My uncle's from Doncaster. What do you think of the SkyMax 180? That's what I want. Or the SkyMax... or I assume the Maxitov Newtonian 190, MN 190 is what you mean, Robert. I think it's a really nice little scope, to be honest. It's hyper specialized, I would say that. So I wouldn't buy it with deep sky kind of stuff really in mind. It's probably possible, but not really advisable. I wouldn't be able to recommend it for that in any great conscience. But if you're after it for lunar work, planetary work, that kind of thing, then you know you could do a heck of a lot worse. It seems to be a very nice scope, but do bear in mind keeping them at equilibrium, or indeed instead insulating them, is something that really needs to be done with those bigger Macs. Hope that helps you, Robert. Animal 666, put your scope away for the season now. I assume you're kind of in the same boat as me, where we have no astronomical dark at this time of the year. Greg Yancey, good to see you, mate. Clear here in Blackburn, Lancashire. Only doing a wide field time lapse because it doesn't get truly dark here. Yeah, same here, buddy. So here you are, Lubo. Hopefully you can see some of that kind of net extension around the cat's eye right there. Pretty cool to see. You can see, you know, you can trace it quite well with your mouse pointer, even in this single 2-minute sub. So that's neat. But the core of it's completely blown out in it. Look at that. Well, close to anyway. I hope that's okay for you, Lubo. I do want to shoot this target properly one of these days, but as you can see, I mean, look at it. It's completely lost in the field of view. This is not the scope for the job. I think once we've got ourselves set up on a target, by the way, which I'm thinking is probably just going to be NGC 7000, that region. As I always seem to shoot it every single year, I can't really give it a skip. We can also run in tandem, hopefully, a live stack with some flats and bias and really let this thing develop and have a nice looking image by the end of the session. You need a slightly wider field of view. Loading so I can get this framing correct. Just trying to get caught up with chat ever so slightly. Sorry about delayed replies here, guys. Gidis is asking why gain 210 and not 100. Gain to, I think it's 210, which the high conversion gain mode kicks in on my camera. I do believe in a comment you left on my channel, you mentioned that you're using a 6200 camera from ASI and yours kicks in at gain 100. So you should be using yours around about that. I hope that that helps explain that one. France is in the place. Dark Pixels. Hello there, mate. Really nice to have you in another stream. Thank you for giving some of your evening up and spending it with me. It's very, very much appreciated. Daryl Johansson. Greetings from Vancouver Island. This is very cool. Thanks for doing this. Hey, my pleasure, mate. Got a couple of C-Star accessories from you. That's awesome. Fast shipping and great price. Nice one. I really wish I could offer that shipping even cheaper, but I mean, I currently charge, I think, £10 for recorded shipping for these things, which seems ridiculous, but I still lose money on every time I ship, but that is ridiculous. It really is silly what they charge now. I'm happy with that framing. I would say I do want to capture a lot of this bright region up here and the, you know, probable swath of oxygen 3 over there, and I like the fact that this rift is coming in from that kind of top third down to the middle section over here. I think it looks photographically pleasing. So I'm going to go ahead, add to sequence, legacy sequence. So I'll just run through this real quick. I'm going to just set up a loop. 100 will be enough. We're not going to exceed that, I would say. Slew to center, start the guide in. Want it to focus on the start, and after we'll keep on top of it. Let's say every 30 minutes, just in case we have any drift, as I haven't let the observatory acclimatize whatsoever right now. I think we'll go with 2-minute subs. Dither every 6 minutes, every 8 minutes. That should be enough. Gain 210, offset 100. That sounds pretty good. Save that. Hit play, and it should do basically the rest for us. So now I can get caught up a little bit with chat. Again, sorry about the delay, guys. I don't want to miss people's messages if at all possible. Let's see. Milkman, good to have you again, buddy. How are you doing? Daryl suggests, how about printing and offering a cheap EQ mount? Wow. I think that's probably a little bit outside of my my skill set, really. Designing that kind of thing. No doubt my printers could do it, but I wouldn't feel right, you know, selling someone else's design. Mother Funky. Could you recommend decent scope for the Skywatcher Star Adventure GTI, mainly for shooting galaxies? You currently got a Samyang 135. Well, the Samyang 135 is a lot of fun. But I don't blame you for wanting something else as well. It's a tough question though, mate, without knowing more about your budget and future upgrade plans, really. So if you let me know what your kind of intended budget is and a little bit more on your intended purpose, if you could. Is it galaxy clusters? Is it, you know, the large showcase galaxies like Andromeda? Or you have the more small, interesting things? And I'll do my best to offer you some advice, and I'm sure people in the chat will too. Let's see. Change the cable, restart the ASI. Guiding is fine now. Awesome, Marco. Really glad to hear that just a restart's fixed it for you, mate. Brilliant. Graham White asks, have you ever thought of solar astrophotography? I have a little bit, Graham, yeah. Just recently I've been doing a touch with the, you know, the C-Star from ZWO. Been having a ton of fun with that. Really, mate. It's been just nice. I can get it going within just a couple of minutes' time. I noticed my cooling's about to finish, by the way. That's why I'm prepping myself ready to run off into the observatory real quick and just keep an eye on this cable as it slews. Can totally see the web in there. Yeah, you can see it a little bit, can't you, in just a couple of minutes. Pretty neat. Let's see. Are you using Hyperstar? Greg Yancey asks. Not Hyperstar as such, mate, no. I'm using a Celestron Rasa 11 V2. So it's f2.2, 620mm focal length. Hey there, Siegfried, by the way. I'll be back in just 1 second. Whew. Alright, I'm back. Seems to be safe enough. Sorry about any confusing lag on this stream video. I've just noticed it looks like I've just seen myself come back in the observatory, oddly enough. So you can see there on the framing, looks like we're pretty good. The reason I'm re-triggering an autofocus straight after is I just want to be absolutely sure it's nailed on, and holy crap. Pete, with the 50 gifted subs, mate, that is absolutely unbelievable. I'm a little bit lost for words, mate. Jeez, thank you so bloody much, mate. The support you've been given is absolutely out of this world. I feel really bad that I can't offer you more in return. Jeez. I will catch up to that in just a moment. I've just seen it pop up at the top. Let's see. Astronomy with Claire. Hey there, Claire. How are you doing? Are you out imaging tonight? Siegfried asks, how am I doing? I'm doing okay, mate. I've had a up and down few days, but here we are. I'm not doing too bad at all now. Thank you. Very much better to be spending some time with you guys, actually. It's a real good, feels like a nice way to decompress and spend some time in a friendly environment. You know what I mean? SkyMax 180 for planetary. Yep. Just a question about the flats, and you have a Pro and L enhanced filter. I have to make separate flats for each filter, right? That's correct, Marco. Yeah, you need to pair up your, you know, the correct flats for the filter, as each filter will have its own individual little, you know, features, shall we say? And by that I mean dust motes. If ever you are using, by the way, filters a long way ahead of your camera, sometimes the dust motes are so out of focus that you can get away with no flats and just background corrections. Depends on your optics and how clean they are otherwise, though. No problem about the gain explanation, Gidas. No problem at all, mate. Gil says, I'm nearly caught up, by the way, or am I? I'm so far behind, actually. I'm wrong. Sorry, guys. I've just seen Pete's gift again. Jeez, thank you again, Pete. So very much for that, mate. Unbelievable. Can't get enough of that Cygnus wall. It is a painfully familiar target, but equally, you know, I know myself, every time Orion comes up, I'm gonna image it. Do you know what I mean? I can't not. It's it almost feels like a herald of the seasons change sort of thing. I really feel like summer's here once I start imaging Cygnus. You have a 12-inch Dob Stellar Lyra, not go-to, but you want an EQR 6 Pro or an AZ EQ6. That'd be nice, mate, yeah. Let's see. Amp glow gone back to white now. That's really good to hear, Scott. I think it was overexposed. Ooh. Yeah, could be. Could be, mate. Welcome aboard, by the way, all the new members. And thanks again to Pete for that. You absolute legend. Just seen astrophotography the right way is in the chat. How are you going tonight, mate? I assume you're up at the observatory, the Ross Observatory tonight. If so, I hope you're having a good one. Milkman asks, how am I doing? Yeah, as I say, mate, not too bad at all. Thank you very much indeed for asking. Very much better for doing this and sharing it with you guys. Go Pete. Yes, indeed. Go Pete. Wombat. Hey there, Wombat. How's it going, buddy? Just 2 very clear nights here on the east coast of Oz, trying to process NGC 6744. I'm not familiar with that target, mate. No doubt. An absolute bonzer, though. Let's just make sure guiding looks like it's happy enough. I'm not sure why we're seeing these odd spikes every now and again. I'm not really too happy about those. I'm going to select actually quite a saturated star and see if that settles things down. Settle things down at all. Just out of interest. We don't need extremely accurate guiding tonight, but those spikes are not going to help at all. Fruity Records, Dave, if I'm recalling correctly. Evening, Luke. Cat's Eye, Nico's doing some luck imaging on that one to get the core. Very nice. Yeah, that should be interesting to see when he's done. Paul Patterson, greetings from Stoneville. NC, is that North Carolina? Greetings to you too, mate. Very nice to have you. Within the viewfinder. Hope you're doing well. Thank you, mate. I'm doing well. Heavy rain in Denmark. No. That's okay. Gave me an opportunity to process one of my time lapses from the big Aurora event. Very nice. Duck. Good to have you again, Duck. Really nice. Another special, The One. Oh, you remember, you were here for that stream where you ball during The One's days. Why did I get an email from YouTube? Asks Shrek. Possibly due to the gifted subscription, I think, mate. And Brody, member for 1 month. Hey, welcome aboard again, Brody. Really good to have you here. Push your sub to this channel and we're just giving a 3 months membership. Yeah, that's right. Stan's just said it. Matt Draxler, greetings from upstate New York. Truly enjoy all your videos. Thank you, mate. That's really love to hear. Thanks for all the great work. Hey, you're more than welcome. Thanks for watching. Couldn't do it without you. That looks pretty darn good. I would say we should probably get these things starting to fold them on it a live stack in sharp gap, as I've still got some flats from the last session. I haven't moved anything, so they should be valid and work pretty well. It looks like for all those the worries I had about guiding accuracy, doesn't really seem to be any issue. Looks like it's pretty good, so I'm not going to worry about it too much unless we start seeing star trails, you know what I mean? Astro Duck is asking, what am I imaging? Well, the Cygnus wall region, the Pelican, and whatever this bit's called, effectively in between them all. It makes a nice triangle, I think. Should look pretty good once processed. Oh yes, Stan's just said that. Sorry about the redundant information, guys. Dumpy Dalek, good to see you, mate. I hope your hospital appointment went okay. I hope that's not too private to ask. Let's see. Any thoughts on the ASCAR 130 PHQ? Really nice scope. I got sent one for review a little while back. What the heck is going on with my guiding? Yeah, I got sent one a while back for review. Really liked it. Had I more spare cash at the time, mate, I would have quite simply kept it. I liked it a lot. The only thing I didn't like was the reducer. I don't think the reducer was good enough, given how good the scope was natively. It seemed to be a bit of a letdown, really. It's usable, but you're not looking for usable, I'd imagine, on a 4.5 grand refractor. It wants to be bang on, do you know what I mean? I hope that helps answer your question. CC 2024. What is the yellow light reflecting off your telescope? So that is lights from a pub at the end of the street, Lubo. So what you're seeing right there hopefully should disappear a little later on. Or in fact, on this side, no, we could be looking at street lamps, actually. So yeah, we'll have to see on that one. If they go off in about half an hour or so, we'll know which we're actually looking at. And, oh, crikey. Matt Draxler for the $20. That's absolutely awesome, mate. Might as well celebrate my first time commenting. And what a way to celebrate, sir. Thank you very much indeed for your support. It is really, really welcome. Thank you very much indeed. All the best to you, mate. Looks like it might be windy in the obs. I think you're right, Stan. I do think you're right on that one. Could well have been a wind oscillation, that, couldn't it? A bit of wind whipping around. Any new comments in the sky? I don't know about that, Lubo. I'm afraid I can't comment. How do you keep getting these clear skies? Raining here in Cambridge. The Caravan Ham says, luck, I think, mate. I'm due some good luck. We had such bad weather to kick off the year, so now we've got a few decent clear skies. I'm going to absolutely make the most of it, you know what I mean? I didn't ask what your weather's like. Clouds in Sussex says, Astronomer with Claire wanted to carry on testing the 70 EDQ and 26M. Focus achieved at last. Brilliant. Well, that's a step in the right direction, isn't it? So, you know, when it does finally clear up, at least you're going to be in focus or still close to it, depending on temperature. And that's certainly something you can work with. Can't wait for Orion to come up again, says SMA Sky. This time you're hoping you can use PhD2 to help. Your guide camera isn't necessarily meant for guiding, but it might actually work. Yeah. Awesome, mate. Well, it's good to have goals and, you know, future goals, especially in astronomy. They help you through the rough times. Do you know what I mean? When you're just waiting for the next clear sky. As long as you've got something in mind that you want to get up to next, it can really help smooth out those bumps. At least I find. Just about starting to catch up, maybe. Wombat's just explaining that NGC 6744, the target I mentioned, I didn't know what it was, is a mimic of our Milky Way and bigger. Ooh, a bigger brother then. Very cool. Let's just see. What's your bottle down there? If you mean, do you mean me, Sean? I'm imaging from bottle 7, so pretty curious guys. You know what I mean? Looking forward to seeing what you're going to capture tonight. Hey there, Lee. Good to have you in another stream, buddy. So what I'm aiming to do tonight is just, once I've tried to catch up to chat just a little bit, we're going to continue on imaging this region right here with the hopes of, if it's suitable, turning it eventually into a tutorial data set, which I can just, you know, give to you guys, and anybody who wants to process it and do what they want with it can do so. You know what I mean? That's the plan. Anyway, we have such short, usable sections of the night, and it's not even really truly dark. I like to go after something a little bit bright. In this kind of situation. Oh crikey, Milkman! Thank you so much, mate, for that. 20 gifted subscriptions. Welcome aboard to all the new members. That's absolutely incredible. I never know what to say. You guys are absolutely overwhelming with the support in the best possible way. You know what I mean? I can't thank you enough. I really, really can't. Let's just see. Getting caught up. Thank you again, by the way, Matt Draxler. And congratulations on that first comment too. What a way to kick things off. Sean OD, hey there, mate. Good to see you. Have you ever run the guiding assistant in PhD2? Asks Stan. I have indeed, mate. Yeah. For this kind of thing, I've not really been doing it, but maybe if it keeps misbehaving, maybe I should. Normally, I'll just slew to an acceptable portion of sky, calibrate, and go again. But it looks like things are playing up just a touch, doesn't it? Here, we're not having too much luck. I'm going to let it auto select a star. It's got a multi-star guiding going on once again. Let's see if this changes anything for us. It looks like the profile of that star, you can see that, can't you, on stream? Not quite saturated, which is good. I may try to calm things down a little bit by going with a slightly longer guide exposure as well. So I'll move up to 1 second. And now it's only just flat spotted at the top, so it's very slightly saturated. Shouldn't make much of a difference to PhD calculating the centroid of that mass. Should work well, but hopefully it'll calm things down just a touch. Sorry about the word salad, by the way, guys, in a lot of this. If it's hard to follow at times, as I realize I'm miles behind still with the comments. How many hours of astronomical dark do you get here? Matt Simmons asks. None this time of the year, mate. None at all. Bulbal, last time you stuck your stuff was for the eclipse. Wow, no good. Back-to-back clear sky days out here in San Antonio. Oof, 30 degrees at midnight. That's hot, mate. Jeez, that's warm. Ben McLaren, howdy again, mate. Good to see you. Still cloudy and still waiting on bolts to mount the EQ8. Jeez. Cloudy for Dave as well, just because you bought a 10-inch Quattro. Yeah, that's guaranteed you some more clouds. I'm sorry, mate. Phil Lang, evening to you too, buddy. Good to see you imaging again. Hopefully less dramas tonight. Hopefully so, mate. Yeah. Alas, your laptop is dead. Oh no. Plastic Hutch turned it into a swimming pool. Ugh. Oh dear. That's a rough one. Sorry to hear that, mate. Any chance it'll dry out, or is it, dead? Hopefully it will dry for you. Titch says, oh, I see, mate. Your appointment went okay. Finally going to get the cancer treated. Oof. Understandable, mate. Understandable. Well, I'll be wishing you all the absolute best with that, buddy. Absolutely. And you know where I am if you need to contact me at any point as well. So it looks like we are having some major interruptions on this guiding. So before I dot another I, stop this sequence just a moment. I am going to actually run the calibration assistant and see if we can't iron out some of these kinks. So I'm going to allow it to slew. I'm going to have to just go watch in the observatory, and we'll see. It's a good experiment to see if after all this mess on PhD, if it can fix itself, you know what I mean? So I'm going to go ahead, hit slew, and watch this go. Ooh, alright, I'm back. Scope slewed painlessly, thankfully. Seems to all be okay. Wait for tracking to stabilize and then click calibrate to start the calibration. Well, I'll just give it a few moments to stabilize itself, and then we'll hit calibrate. Just while I try and catch up touch more with the chat. Will Shuck, your latest LRGB helpful video was very helpful. Oh, that's awesome to hear, mate. Thank you very much indeed for sharing that. I'm chuffed to hear it was useful to you. SMA Sky have a good chance at catching and tracking a Starlink tonight. That's cool. A new train, I assume, from recent launch. Very nice. Welcome again, by the way, to all the new members. Extremely kindly gifted by Pete and Milkman. Welcome aboard if you are here, and welcome to the people who've joined as well. Really awesome to have you. Let's see. Right, we can go ahead and click calibrate, I think, at this point. I'm sorry that I forgot to turn the camera back on. We're here now. Sean OD asking, what scope are you using, mate? It's the Celestron Rasa 11 V2. So f2.2, super duper fast, and 620 mils of focal length. So pretty wide, really, all things considered. Are we imaging or doing EAA, Brody asks. Tonight it's imaging, mate, in order to try and capture a little bit of data that I can use for a future tutorial video, basically. Kind of a, a data share tutorial, that kind of thing. You're very welcome, Luke. Oh, that's really kind of you to say, Milkman. Thank you very much indeed, mate. Let's see. Phil Lang definitely agree. Targets and projects are really important. Yeah, I'm glad to hear it's same for you guys. Really want to image the southern pinwheel galaxy, but probably needs to go to Spain in the April. Wow, that's now that is a project, mate. Captured Roa Fucus and the LMC and Karina from SA. Awesome. Wombat says, on the longer focal lengths, I had to change to an off-axis guider. Much better guiding. My 50mm Orion was doing well with the 1000mm focal length of the main would easily chase and cause drift. Yeah, 100%. I found that off-axis guiding really was the way forwards with the Edge HD 11. Normally on the Rasa, this has been absolutely fine. I am wondering if I've got some form of imbalance that I've not detected or something like that. But normally the EQ8 is pretty tolerant of imbalance, as it turns out. But we'll see if this guide assistant figures things out. We'll slew back to the target, kick things off again in just a moment. Wife keeps saying the government keeps putting something in the air, and that's why we have so many clouds. I think it's too much TikTok. Potentially so, mate. Potentially. Zero. Matt Simmons, yeah, in reply to the how many hours of astronomical darkness do I get? Yeah, none. Don't feel too bad then. Close to 2 hours now and getting less until the solstice. Yeah. I think we mentioned the solstice here is on the 21st, of course. I assume it's the same just about everywhere. Give or take a few hours. But yeah, by that point, it will be notably brighter even than this at night time for us. Let's just see if I can catch up a little bit with chat some more. Mark is asking, morning Luke, morning to you too, mate. Have you sorted the 45-degree bent EQ mod cable? I have indeed, mate, yeah. I ordered a replacement and it's here. It's installed. Yeah. Calibration result was poor. Consider redoing it while following all recommendations. Large deck backlash. I'll tell you what I'm going to try. I know a little bit of a fault that can occur with the EQ8, and it's due to its clutch design. So I'm going to try retensioning both clutches very slightly, and we'll see if we can iron out this guiding issue just a little bit. Sorry about the delay on this, guys. It's just I'd rather get the data to be as good as I possibly can for you. So back onto Pete's cam, and we can take a look in the observatory real quick while I stretch around really and try and sort out these clutches. Just 2 seconds. All right, I've released a bunch of clutch tension there. So let's go ahead, recalibrate, and see if we can get this guide result a little bit better. As someone suggested, there is a bit of wind out there tonight, but hopefully not enough to really kick things around as bad as it has been doing. At least I imagine so anyway. So while this is recalibrating, I'll continue on trying to catch up a little bit with the chat. Let's see. Cloudy here in Maine. Going to be for a while, says Milkman. Oh no, mate. I hope it does clear up for you soon. Sometimes electronics that get wet will still work, but they need a deep cleaning, which isn't easy. Yeah, I can only imagine, mate. With a laptop, there's so many parts, isn't there? Satellite's disturbing guiding, balance issue. Could be those two. I think I balanced it pretty well, but you know, I can't be completely sure. I think it is. I'm hoping it's just the clutch tension issue. It's I have been known to over tighten clutches a little bit, you know what I mean? David Diaz says, maybe have a show on how to set up Nina for your broadcasts. Also, if you could, during one of your shows, patiently explain how you manipulate the histogram and real-time tweaks in SC. Thanks. SharpCap, I assume, yeah. Well, it's very simple stuff on SharpCap that I do. Nothing too much, too wild there, David. So it's pretty simple stuff. Hopefully when I get the guiding kicked off properly, we can dive over to SharpCap and I can go ahead and show that for you. And that might help. Is there a hole in the center of the raster 11 primary mirror? There is indeed, Isaac. There is indeed. It makes no odds, of course, to the amount of light gathering capability of the raster, because there's a shadow there anyway, effectively to starlight due to that secondary housing. It's not really a secondary, you know what I mean? It's a corrector plate group, but that same spot is where the shadow of your camera and everything is going to land when parallel light is hitting your scope. So it makes no odds. RA acting up, looks like wind to me. Could be Gil, yeah. It does feel pretty gusty out there. I'm hoping that this sorts things out just a little bit. If it doesn't, then we'll just change plans and do some EAA, you know what I mean? Rather than wasting all night trying to fix something that's clearly not going to be fixed if we do this, you know what I mean? Titch asks, did you get yourself a new mount lead? I did indeed, mate, yeah. Picked one up straight away that same night. I placed an order on First Light Optics and got it here. Just installed it today. Let's see. Misael Escobar, good to have you, mate. Gabe, good to have you as well, buddy. What scale in your PhD graph, Luke? Asks Dave. So it goes up to 8 arc seconds above and below. That's the scale that I'm showing. Calibration result was poor. Consider redoing it while following all recommendations. Well, seems like we're seeing... What's the issues? The RA rate is getting on for 2.5 times as much in terms of arc seconds per second as the deck rate. Why would that be? An orthogonality error is only 1. So that's at least, it seems to be an improvement. Only took 9 steps to calibrate in RA, 23 steps in deck. That's pretty massive. Very interesting, but it looks, to me, at least this portion of the guidance that we're seeing right now, does that not look a little bit better to you guys anyway? Hopefully so. I'm going to watch it just for a moment before we slew away and get back on with things. But maybe things are solved. Oh no. What now? Can you not be AFPHD? Please. Just for a minute. Let's try a different star and see if things get notably worse. If you can't image, then watch someone else. I say, says Matt. Good advice, buddy. Oh, you out imaging with your raster as well tonight, Titch? Very good. Confused where to start on Nina, says Kem Oguz. Hopefully not completely butchering your name. Now we are seeing some strangeness once again. Let's see. Ever tried a Barlow on your guide scope? I have indeed, Dave. Yeah, had a good result. Yeah, tried Barlow in it. This exact guide scope setup, I have Barlowed that in the past. I'm going to trust that this is looking a little bit better now. Do I? I'm second guessing myself live on stream. Tell you what, we'll go with half a second. We've had some plenty of time to settle now. I'll run one more calibrate and see if it's happier this time. Let us see. Hey there, Nathan. What's up? Not much, mate. How about you? I have to go prepare for work. Thank you very much for the cat's eye. I won't mention it anymore. Sorry, Luvo. I do want to shoot that target, buddy. It's just like I said, I don't think the RAS has the scope for the job on this one. Currently here in Oz, says Wombat Zone, I have astronomical darkness from 6 PM till 5:30 AM. Wow. It's like me in winter. Absolutely nuts. Sorry if I've missed you going there, Lubo. If you catch this at any point, mate, then cheers for joining in. Mother Funky. Hey, Luke, reply to your answer. Budget up to, say, $2,000 for a scope. Okay. Or is it better to get a mount, say the AM5? I need something portable. Now that is a good question. I would almost always advise getting a good mount to work with. to begin with everything, because it really is the heart of the whole system. If your mount's playing up, I mean, like mine is tonight, it shouldn't be. I don't think there's anything physically wrong with the mount. I'm sure it's just something to do with clutch tension or balance or wind, but I can't exactly pin down which. But your mount is the heart of everything, really. Without a good mount, you're stuffed. So I would probably say, looking at that, if you are open to the idea of buying an AM5 or similar, probably do that first off, and then look at adding extra load to that down the line. Yeah, Brody says you should start uploading on your gaming channel. I really should, Brody. Absolutely agree, mate. I do want to do something with that channel. It's another good creative outlet to have. I've just had so much on lately, you know what I mean? I know it's... Obviously, I should be prioritizing more, but there it is. Jim Smith, I've been using the StarSense auto guider with great results on your C11 Edge HD, but I miss all the info you get with PhD 2. Polar alignment has never been better. Really good to hear. Well, I'm super glad it's working out for you. This calibration's taking a bloody while, innit, again? Wonder if it's had to do a million steps again this time. Let's see what it says once it's finished. Regardless of the result, anyway, we'll work with whatever we've got at this point, and if we have to, we'll just do some EAA, as I say. Calibration was poor once again. Yeah. Never mind, eh? Well, it is what it is. Looks to be the same as last calibration, actually, basically. Yeah. Okay, well, we're going to accept it and try and go with it. So that means a re-slew back to our target. Come on, PhD. Behave. So, sequencer. I will go ahead and just reset that. I think we probably should let it do its re-autofocus. And look at the state of this. We've already burned a good third of what little darkness we have. It's not really true darkness, as I say. There's the scope. Hopefully you should see it start to slew in just a sec. I'm going to keep an eye on it. All right, that's safe. It's finished its slew. Let me just see real quick. Time to add a weather station outside to keep an eye on wind conditions. Yeah, that would be pretty cool, Stan. Use the minimum exposure you can get away with. It really works with multi-star. Yeah, it does sometimes, mate, doesn't it? I'll give that a go if it's still playing up. We'll try and go with a really bright star and I don't know, 0.2 second exposures or something daft. Let's see what we can get. So here we are. We're just about getting back plate solved now. It should kick things off into an autofocus and then into imaging for us in just a sec. Now, if I open up the imaging tab, we had a couple of subs that were crap, weren't there? As I remember. So we'll filter those out, get rid of them before they can ever become an issue. So Nina and Tonight. And it was lights. Let's take a quick peek at these. So, zoom in just a touch. That looked like it was maybe a little bit soft focus, to be honest with you. So I'm glad it is redoing focus. Looked okay in terms of star shape, though. 2, they're okay. That one's okay. That was a bit of a pain having to manually sort through. That one's not okay. We can see huge elongation, so let's just delete that one. Get zoomed back in. Well, I don't even have to. I can see that that one's bad. North American Neb tonight, is it? Says Ed Holt. Yeah, mate, that's the plan. Gonna go after this region once again in order to try and capture some data that I can use for a tutorial, that kind of thing. With any luck, anyway. If guiding starts playing up again, which it looks like it's maybe gonna, then I am actually open to just turning this into an EAA session until we get a better night, you know what I mean? I'll have to try, I guess. Okay, got you. Yeah, let's see how this result turns out, and we'll know a little bit more then about what we're going to actually do next. Is that a planetary nebula beside that star? It is a very small reflection, I do believe, mate. If you're on about what I think you're on about, let's just take a look once again. I want to make sure. Damien K, good to have you, Damien. How's it going, mate? Oh, this is another bad sub. Yeah, so that right there, that's a reflection from this filter. It's a bit of a weird one. Some stars in certain like color bands do have very small, annoying reflections around them. It's an odd one. You can see a bigger artifact starting to appear around this one. And you can also see more, if I could just mouse this across, of those small things that look a little bit planetary nebula-like. That ring artifact there. Popping up all over. They're not too intrusive, so I don't mind them very much. But let's go ahead and get rid of that frame, by the way. Alright, so we've got 2 good exposures. It's a start, at least. You know what I mean? Okay, so the autofocus has finished, and it should kick off now, and we already are, with some actual imaging. You're doing good, just going from work, very nice. Have you got a ZWO EAF? Asks George. I do, indeed, mate, yep. This is running on an EAF right now. Most of the time I'm awake anyway, but there are times when the moon doesn't clear the trees until late in the night. I got you. Light for the stream to auto start and guide in the moon. That would be cool. Let's take a look. Which hemisphere has the better targets, north or south? I would say south. It looks like we're having major issues with this guiding tonight, doesn't it, guys? Who knows what is going on? We'll give Dave's suggestion real quick a go of guiding individually on a single. Look at the state of this. It's actually moving before I even start to guide. I wonder if we are just seeing a boatload of wind. Do you know what I mean? Is that what it could be? It only sounds mildly windy out there, you know. But, oh, crikey, Pete. With the 50 gifted subs. Once again, mate, holy hell. That is absolutely phenomenal. Thank you so much, mate. You'll have to let me know, man, if there's anything I can do to make that up to you, because that's absolutely unreal. We can't possibly guide like this, guys, so unless anybody has any more suggestions other than just wait for a better night, I think we should do some EAA. You know what I mean? Simon Thompson, hey Luke, in Nina on the snapshots of your subs, there's a thumbs down button on the top right of the sub. Click the thumbs down and it marks the sub as bad. Interesting. I'd never actually used that feature. I'd accidentally clicked it. I'm sure I'd accidentally clicked it in the past. Never used it in anger though. We're seeing some very strange oscillations on this thing. Look at this. I don't know if you guys can see how much that's actually moving. When it's not guiding, the whole thing's rocking around. How windy is it? Let me just go check in the observatory. Really, really sorry, 1 second. I will be back to you in just a sec. Right. I think I figured it out, guys. So I've just stood on my steps that I used to actually move the observatory, the roof itself. Held my hand above, as you've just actually seen there on the stream. Gusty. Really quite gusty. So that's what's happening. I think it's catching the end of the scope, pushing it around. So whoever suggested wind, ding, 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 winner. Crap. That's really stuffed me, hasn't it? Oh, crikey, Chris, thank you so much for that, mate. The £10 donation, that's extremely kind of you, mate. Are you having a good evening tonight. Oh crap, I've lost a load of stuff as well on my my chat. Everything's going wrong. It's all kicking off at Luke headquarters. Well, once again, let's turn off this thing. It looks like we're changing plans, guys. Let's go ahead and do some EAA. Does anybody have a target suitable for dual narrowband that you would like to see? And let's do some live stacking, because it's better than battling wind. You know what I mean? Clear skies for you all day. Sun goes down. And thick cloud cover because you looked at your telescope. I've felt that before, Richard. Yeah. I've been there, buddy. Thank you again for those gifted subscriptions, Pete. That's absolutely phenomenal of you, mate. Unbelievable. Let me see. Just trying to catch up. Welcome aboard, by the way, all the new members. Pete's eye again. He is indeed. I've no idea how that's phenomenal. I think Pete's single-handedly supporting my entire family at this point. Crikey. Recalibrate. You've tried that on a couple of times, Ed, but nice suggestion, man. What we did is we moved and actually let it run the calibration assistant, so it was in an optimal part of the sky as well, but it seems to be just wind. So when I'm walking out in the observatory and not getting up on the steps, I'm in the wind's shadow. So I'm not really feeling too much. But the end of the scope, as long as it is, it's getting pushed all over the place, unfortunately. So, yeah. As soon as I catch up, target suggestions, we'll pick one of those and we'll go for it. His name is Astro Pete, and he's the master of the membership beat. He is indeed. Thanks again so much for that, Chris, as well. Got a good night here. Oh, yeah. That tree in the background moving a lot. It's wind 100%. Yeah, looks like you're correct there, Gil. The dumbbell, says Brody. You were the first suggestion, mate, so let's go ahead and try M27. The dumbbell. Looks like it's well elevated. So, I'll go ahead. Try and get this thing set off and slew into it. I'll just have to go and watch the scope really quick, as we don't want a repeat of last session. So, I thought I'd done something wrong. I guess I didn't load. Oh no, it's loaded now. What a doofus I am. We'll get there in a minute, guys. Sorry about the numpty operating the telescope. Alright, seems to be good now, so we'll go ahead and click slew and center. Alright, mouse move. I think we might just get away with that, you know. It looks to be just, oh yeah, just in the trees. Very, very slightly just in the trees. I thought it would be okay, but yeah, there it is. Might need to pick something ever so slightly higher. Pelican says, guide us with the LX stream. We could indeed go back, I guess, and try the Pelican region. Like to try somewhere else a little bit if we could. I wonder if M16 is in the clear spot right now. That could be a nice one. No wind here, thankfully. All the ground is soggy, as I found out when giving the dome a shove. Oh no, I hope you didn't slip, mate. Randall Capes is asking what filter are you using tonight. It's a Optilong LX Stream F2 edition. Last night I managed 2 hours of Pelican with LX Stream. And tonight we'll try to process it. Would be neat to see if you could process your Pelican. I think we're a little bit stuck for capturing much usable data. Geared us on this one. Elephant's Trunk, we could maybe try that as well, certainly, mate. Let's see. Brian the Primate, good to see you again, mate. Really good to see you. Just trying to catch up with the chat very slightly. While we do that, let's just see what we can see for a couple of minutes, on M27. regardless of the trees, who cares? It's just, you know, a bit of EAA, innit? And sorry for keeping you guys waiting while I'm constantly playing a little bit of catch up. So I'll move through this as swiftly as I possibly can, and then we'll maybe try M16 after this. Clamshell Nebula, Cat's Eye. We actually did a shot on the Cat's Eye a little bit earlier. That turned out okay, didn't it, Simon? That was the one good sub that we got, effectively, mate. 455 C Pro. See. I think we'll have to go with quite short subs to stop that wind being such a pain. Do I even bother trying a guide? I don't know. Maybe so. Let's just chance it. And I think, what do you think? 15-second subs. That'll probably do a decent job, and we'll crop in rather than using the full frame because it's absolutely tiny in this field of view. So we'll go 2K 2560 by 1440 if you're okay with that, and we'll live stack a small region of interest. That'll take some stress off my PC at the very least. Thank you again, by the way, Pete, so much for those subscriptions, mate. That is absolutely unbelievable. Really is. It always leaves me not really knowing exactly what to say, to be honest, because how do you react to such kindness? It's not something that you can be prepared for. So thank you again. Go ahead and get this balanced just a little bit, and it's a perfect opportunity as well. Someone asked earlier on about histogram manipulations in SharpCap, and I can talk to you about that in just a sec as well. So we've got a good few suggestions, things that people would like to see. Ed Holt, yeah, welcome back, mate. Sorry, I see now. Yeah, you suggested recalibrating guide, didn't you? Yeah. That's no worries at all, buddy. Let me just see. I'm so sorry I'm behind on chat here, guys. Go to anything that is in the southern hemisphere and can't see it. Oh, I nearly did that the other night by accident. Let's see. Buddy here. 3 hours of the comet last week. Very nice, Spaceman. No idea how to process it. Any possibility you can do a video on that? Oof. I'm honestly a little bit of a comet processing noob, and I'd say that's putting it lightly. I've got very little experience with it myself, so I'd probably not be the guy for that job at the risk of giving out misinformation. You know what I mean? That's the last thing I really want to do. We've missed focus on this, by the way. Almost certainly we've missed focus. These stars look softer than they should. So I think the next target that we go to, I might well just do a manual focus with a Batinov mask on the end. What step size do you use with the EAF? PhD, the Bong of Doom. Sorry if I'm kicking anybody off with that. Awful to hear. What step size do you use with the EAF? I fed one to my slasher on Hyperstar 6 and can't get the bloody thing to focus, says George. Good question, George. I use a pretty massive step size on the Rasa, as its focuser gearing is... I'm going to have to turn PhD off because I don't want to listen to that all night. Yeah, its focuser gearing is very tall. Do you know what I mean? So my step size, just in case you were interested, it probably won't be the same on yours, given that you're using a Schmidt Cassegrain with Hyperstar. But at least on the Rasa, 500 is the step size, and it needs to be that high to really get meaningful movement on the Focus HFR as we run through and try to do try to create a V curve to focus from. But yeah, I'd give that a go. Try upping at least a little bit the autofocus step size. On my Edge 11, I remember I had to use, with the same focuser, a step size of about 350, I think, to get a nice repeatable V curve when focusing. I hope that answers that question for you. This looks really soft, so I'm not too pleased about that. We will have to go ahead and get this refocused. Bit of a goof there. As you can see, stars aren't truly in focus right there, are they? Dumble was going to be your target tonight. Hello from Greece. Mustakias. Good to have you, mate. Not collimated your tack yet. I know you are now, Spaceman. You got a week off, so I could travel up to you and make a vid on collimating newts. Oh, mate, I've got a lot on. I'll have to pass on that one, but thank you all the same. Caleb, Astro Corone. Hey there, buddy. How's it going? I hope you're getting some clear skies up there in Canada. John Thice, Wizard Nebula. Good suggestion, John. Can I hit that one right now? I do wonder. SH2112 in Cygnus above the North America. I think you suggested that the other night, didn't you? We never got around to it. Maybe we could have a look at that. Also, we'll give this just a couple minutes. We'll slew somewhere else. Get a manual focus done with the Bayanov mask. And we'll go from there, I reckon. Been painting Warhammer miniatures while doing EAA. Awesome. That's really cool. I remember I had some of those when I was a lot younger. I never played Warhammer, but I liked painting miniatures. David Moran. Evening, Luke. Evening to you too, mate. Hello from a lay-by in the arse and nowhere near Skipton. Imaging the failed nebula. Good on you, Dave. Christ. I hope you're getting some good steady skies, mate, as here we're having trouble with wind, unfortunately. Really pretty bad. And Pete says, no worries, Luke. Well, cracky, mate. Again, all I can say is just thank you. I really, really do appreciate the support that all of you guys show. You should go without saying. But yeah, I say it anyway. I want you to know. Can you invert the image? I don't actually know how, Brody, on this. Brian the Primate, welcome aboard to the Cosmic Supporter tier. That's very, very kind of you indeed. Hope you enjoy the membership. Looks like it's now clearing for you, Simon. Brilliant. James Bonza from cloudy Iowa, USA. Ooh, hopefully not cloudy for long. On the Crescent, using the Rasa, says Titch Wikes. Using the Antlia Triband. Ooh, that should be a good one. Very nice test. Dumbbell Neb was your first DSO outside of the Orion Neb and Andromeda. Ooh. Trying to think, what was my first one outside of those, you know, the big two? I probably tried the Horse Edge, you know. Come to think of it, I think I did. Back then, though, I had not really a suitable camera, just a standard unmodified DSLR and a camera lens, and that were it. But we still got an image, and that was enough, you know what I mean? It did the job. View control, it's clearing here too. Good to hear. That's absolutely awesome of you to offer sorting out that cable for me, mate. I had already clicked order, so it was a little bit late to take you up on that one, but all the same, I really appreciate the offer. I do. Do I go out and set up or go to bed? Depends what you're doing tomorrow. If you've not got a too busy day on tomorrow, mate, then I'd make the most of it, but that's just me. I'm often full of beans during, you know, night hours, so thanks for the answer and the help. No problem, George. Someone asked, by the way, about adjusting sharp cap view, and I am going to move off this target in just a sec, as I say, and refocus, so I'll just reset both of these and turn off a second the sky cam and my cam. You can see now, because I've got Sharp Cap Pro, I've got access to this little button right here that allows me to automatically balance the color. So one click on that, and you'll know the red's raised a little bit, the blue's raised a little bit, and this is now color balanced automatically. It's a pretty useful button. Without that, you'd have to not automatically, but rather visually, by eye, after a little bit of a stretch, which I'll talk you through in a moment, identify what color bias was going on in the background in a non-nebulous region of space. So something that should just be gray. So I'll also show you that in just a sec. So the right-hand slider should, generally speaking, be left alone. The mid-level slider is what's going to do most of the heavy lifting when it comes to actually stretching your image. Sometimes when you've got a thin representation of a histogram, because it's occupying such a small amount of the dynamic range available on your camera, it can be useful to click horizontal axis zoom, getting you a much, well, more zoomed, obviously, view of the histogram that's available to you. So when you move that slider, you have more granularity over its control. As you can see, I'm now moving a good third of the way across the screen or so, whereas before I'd have been tripping up over myself with very small movements. So the mid-level slider moved towards the histogram peak is going to raise this yellow line's occupation of the brighter regions. So up here, these are brighter regions. Down here, excuse me, these would be darker regions of the image. So we want these darkest regions currently, very light color, as you can see, because they're nowhere near the bottom edge of the histogram. So we're going to move up the black level just across like this, so you can see that now that yellow line is starting to go straight through the thicker part of this, and it's starting low down, so we've got close to a black level. If I move it inside, by the way, it would clip and would end up with what's known as clipped blacks. Not useful, no information shown on there. Now, we talked about color bias, and on my screen this looks biased towards green to me, so you'd have the option of either dropping the green solely to try and balance. So as you can see, that's done a decent job. Or you could raise the red and the blue. That's your other option. So if I raise the red, as it did, you know, during the automatic one, so raise the red, raise the blue. Once again, I've gone a little bit too far with blue. It's very slightly biased, but it's not done a bad job. But if you do have SharpGap Pro, you can instead just click balance, and it's done. So whoever asked about stretching and manipulating the histogram on SharpGap, I do hope that that's answered that one for you with some degree of competence, I hope. Let's go ahead now and we'll choose a nearby star. We'll slew. And yeah, get focused. I think that's the thing we need to do. Blimey, that raster has a big field of view. Splash, you don't get the trees when you point to zenith. Yeah. Let's just catch up a little bit. Really sorry about missing out on some chat there while I was talking through that explanation. I do hope that was useful. Oh, is Pete going to bed? I just saw Night Pete there. Well, if you are, good night, Pete, and thank you again so much, mate, for the support, as always. Unless I've misread this, in which case, sorry. Let me just see. Sorry, guys, I'm doing my best to catch up with the chat. Hey there, Dave. Good to have you. Hope you're doing well. Simon's got to head off. Oh, crikey. Hope you have a cracking day tomorrow, Simon. Really nice to have you, buddy. That's why Simon was saying night, Pete. I'm with you now. I'm just catching up with chat again, sorry. Photographic yoga, stretching, yeah. Make sure you put your histogram in a downward dog position. And if it's got a bad back, have it do happy cat and angry cat. Steve, I saw your email, Steve. Sorry I've not had a chance to get back to you on that one, but welcome aboard to the channel memberships. It's very kind of you. It's really good to have you. I think I've caught up with chat. Brilliant. Right then, let's go ahead and choose a star nearby, get focused, and then we'll move on to another target. I think Milkman suggested an SH2 region, which could be pretty cool. We'll go ahead and give that a go, perhaps. So that's that. That's the dumbbell. 12 minutes and 15 second subs. Out of focus subs, so I don't even know why I'm saving it. I'll be going in the bin, unfortunately. Trash data, you know what I mean? Let's select something that we can actually focus on now. That's the key. It's a pity. Please do let me know, by the way, if someone already does know, if you can actually manually select a star for Nina to slew to, rather than having to, let's say, you know, move within your field of view to a star and then get it to go to that kind of region. Seems a little bit clunky. Click the flip drop down underneath camera controls. Oh, I'm sorry, Brody. I missed that, buddy. I'll try and find a decent star. So SH2. Are you still in chat, Milkman? You suggested SH2. I can't quite remember what it was. Sounded interesting though. SH2 112. That was it. Okay. Load that. Excuse me. Can you do the clamshell nebula? Yeah, potentially after this, Duck. Whereabouts is it, mate? Only ever been able to use cat do CL and pull position from planetarium. Got ya. Well, that looks like a really nice little target. And there is a nice bright star that we can focus on. So, well, first off, salute to that. I'll just check my telescope's okay. Yeah, we'll get salute to that, and then looks like we can do a manual focus and then image that SH2 region for a while, which is already showing up quite nicely in the plate solve exposure just over to the right hand side there, if you can see that. Wish this wind would pack it in, you know. It's really messed up all plans for this session tonight, unfortunately. For stars, yeah, Daryl, got you, mate. That's awesome. Upper right and Nina imaging tab is a visual star button. Okay. So, hang about then. Imaging. Is it this one? Manual focus targets. You beauty. Thank you very much indeed for that, Thomas. So, oh, how about that, eh? Mate, that's awesome. I really appreciate that one. That's an absolutely top tip. Brilliant. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to, you know, let's focus this thing up now and then we'll move over into sharp gap after we've realigned nicely on the targets. I'm not quite pleased with that. I'll get this 3x3 bin in. That should allow me to actually loop 1 second exposures, which should be still fine to see these big old batting of spikes that we're going to see from this thing. So I'll just put the mask on the end and we'll see what we get. Just 2 seconds. Ooh. You know, interestingly. Oh no, we are off focus, aren't we? We're not actually in focus. That's fine. We're going to use subsample in a sec, and if I can crop this in from the edges, if Nina would behave anyway, we could do that. It's a pity I've got such a slow little mini PC here. We'll go with 1000 by 1000 on this thing. Then we can use a lower binning and still, you know, maintain a decent frame rate, I hope. There we go. We'll drag that over the star. Switch to bin 1. We are set to loop. Let's go ahead. Download rate should be much more usable for us now. Let's try that direction. Looks like it's the right direction. Actually, pretty massive movement as it happens, that. Much better than my first attempt at the dumbbell. Got you, mate. Just trying to catch up with chat again a little bit. So yeah, we're going to do your suggestion, Milkman. As a little bit of a thank you as well for all that support you've been giving. Absolutely tremendous of you. Look at the wind blowing things around. Crikey. That looks to be... looks to be good enough. I'm going to say that's focused now. I know good enough should be a curse word when it comes to focusing, but it don't look bad, does it, in between the little wind gusts and stuff like that. So we're going to trust it. I'll take the Band-Of mask off, and let's get on with this target. Ah, I'm back. All right then, chaps. Let's crack on with this. So we're in focus. Go back to the framing wizard. I think for this SH2 region, Milkman, should we just bang it straight in the middle, and then we can use a region of interest on sharp cap, or would you rather me move it across to one side and we'll catch some of this Bernard 345, LDN 910, that kind of region as well at the same time? I'll just wait to see what you say. Give Pete his cam back. I'm sorry, Pete. It's my cam now. What ball skies do you have, bud? Asks Baby Leaf Salad. Bottle 7, mate. Yeah, bottle 7 here, and these are very much not at their best as it happens, as we have no astronomical darkness at this time of the year, so we're just having some fun doing other stuff now, as wind is making it so it's really hard to do much important. Let's just see. Greetings from Trinidad, Astro Island. Awesome, just logged on. Well, welcome to the stream. It's very, very nice to have you, mate. Sharpcap has a Band-Of mask focus assist tool. Yeah, I've tried that, Michael. It's not actually bad at all. Webcam's frozen, unfortunately. Oh, I'm seeing now. Sorry about that, guys. Putting your 2.5-year-old to bed. You did it in the middle. Well, we'll go ahead and we'll do that then, mate. We'll do it in the middle. Slew and center, and we'll get things kicked off once again. Just became a Patreon member, says Pat Simon. Well, thank you very much indeed for that, Pat. I'm new to astrophotography, and I've learned a lot from you. Well, that's lovely to hear. Thank you. Found a video you did with the red cat and the ASIR in your workflow. That must be a while ago. Yeah. Now my imaging routine to get started. Well, I'm super glad that's been useful. I really am. Hearing things like that, absolutely top, you know what I mean? Really makes my day. So thank you very much indeed. If you can get more, go for it. I will just settle for it here, I guess, now. Steve asks, what do you like better, galaxies or nebulas? For me, it's always galaxies that I actually prefer the most. I have to say, they just do more for my imagination, do you know what I mean? I absolutely love seeing a galaxy and wondering just exactly what could be out there. I firmly believe, I just can't see how it's possible that there isn't a universe teeming with life that we just haven't been able to observe, or maybe never will, but it's got to be there, hasn't it? It's just too vast to believe otherwise. So we'll go with that region of interest once again, because the full frame's going to take absolutely ages to stack each individual frame, I'd say. Welcome, Tariq. Good to have you. And Mark Rowland, greetings from Michigan. Very nice. Well, it's really nice to have you on the stream here, Mark. Thank you for joining. Go ahead and live stack these now. At least now we know we're in focus. Ooh, look at that, eh? Already 15 seconds. Feel the same way. Always wonder if anybody's looking back. I would absolutely say that they are, Steve. Yeah, they've got to be, aren't there? There must be so many regions capable of habiting intelligent life who's at a similar, period of development as us. It just has to be. There just has to be. Probably other astrophotographers. Imagine being the only ones out of 16 sextillion planets in the universe. exactly. Yeah. I couldn't say it better, Brody. It just seems not really on that would be the case. Let's see. Let's give this a little bit of a stretch. Okay. Well, we'll let this develop a few minutes. It's nice to see how sharp it's became now. After the dumbbell was a really soft result due to it being a little bit out of focus, we're already starting to see some interesting features begin to develop in this nebula. This is my first time actually imaging this thing, so it's as new to me as anybody else whose first time it is. Keep an eye on it. M16, the pillars are not a difficult target here at 28.5 north. I'm a rookie and get decent images with 432, 72 and an edge 8. Very nice, Mr. B. There is a chance, albeit slim, that we could drop on the pillars for a small EAA session. I'll just open up Nina. What are we on? 110. We're around about the right time of night. I hope, anyway. Yeah, it's very low. Look at that. 20 degrees currently, 20.68 degrees. But only getting higher. As the night goes on, it's just a case of whether it's into my neighbour's tree line or not. That's really the issue. I'll go ahead and load that image and see if we can find something we're happy with in that region, if you do fancy a crack on it at some point after this SH2 target has stacked up a little bit. We're only looking at 2.5 minutes of data right here, so extremely limited data pool. Can I trust PhD2 to guide once again? Well, it seems a little bit steadier in the zoomed view. Oh, and then just as I say it, did you see it leap off right there? Ridiculous. I don't know what's going on with this thing. I think it really is all just down to wind. It's a big old scope, the Rasa 11, even for a mega mount like the EQ8, you know what I mean? We'll do what we can. Chris is just suggesting, yeah, you're on M16 now. Fantastic, mate. You getting any good subs in, Chris? Fred Nurk, greetings from Cornwall. Ooh, cloud cleared here about an hour ago. 2 scopes running, Cygnus Wall and M13. Classics. Classics indeed, mate, yeah. Fantastic choices. Jay Polanco is asking Bottle and... Oh, Chris answered for me. Fantastic, mate. Yeah, Bottle 7. That's what we've got here. We're just running with a dual narrowband filter and, you know, very short subs, really. 15 seconds each as we're doing a bit of EAA. Because actually my plans for the start of the stream, if my throat would pack in... Excuse me. I'm to do a great big horrible hoarse cough. Yeah, the plans for the start of the stream got waylaid due to bad weather, basically. Just wind pushing things all over. Sam asks, do you use SharpCap instead of Nina to capture? So usually, Sam, I would use Nina for all my traditional captures. SharpCap is what I use when I want to have a bit of fun, basically, and do something like this, EAA, and just share it with you guys, or if I were doing it on my own. This is very much basically what I would be doing, moving around the sky, hopping from target to target, sometimes using it even as a scouting session, do you know what I mean, to find other suitable targets that I might want to invest some extra time into, as I find it's a really good way to do that. You know, if your target's starting to look decent by, you know, 5 minutes of EAA, then you can pretty much bet that it's going to look awesome if you go after it properly and invest a good few hours. John Gregson, good to have you, mate. All right, you're in St. Helens near Liverpool. I haven't imaged since November. Oof. It's a mixture of work and, oh, fair enough, work and rain, yeah, but mainly rain. Fair enough. I love these sessions. Well, I'm really glad to hear they're useful to you, mate. A few people have said they really enjoy these, the live streams, which I'm mega glad to hear, to be honest. It's a nice way for me to spend an evening, and, you know, what's not to love if people enjoy watching it too. Just cleared up for you in Cardiff, says Sean. Brilliant. Well, I hope it stays clear for you, mate. Flip the image horizontally in sharp cap. Can we do that mid stack, Brody? Where's the option now? Flip. Yeah, horizontal. Let's see if it behaves itself. Will it flip mid stack? Doesn't seem to have done anything so far. So yeah, maybe we'll have to do that after. But yeah, regardless. Paul's hobby life just deleted 6 hours of data from the last 2 nights due to clouds. Ooh, I'm sorry to hear that, mate. That's a lot of data to go down the pan. Crikey. Where the glasses, John? Excuse me. Yeah, it seems to be. I'll have to do that before the next stack, Brody. This is looking decent, eh? After just 6 minutes, we're starting to see more structure form in this nebula. It seems to be popping out a little bit more for me. I hope it's coming across on the stream all right for you. That's the full view, including a little bit of dither black bar at the bottom. Go ahead and zoom back in, I think, on the interesting region. So I think next, while we've got the opportunity, we'll go for M16, I reckon, if you're down for that. Yeah, let's do it. This is 6 minutes and 30 in. I'll stop it now. I know it might seem a little premature, but I really fancy looking at M16 if I can. I'm going to trust, actually, that SharpCap can do it. So let's give it a go on Tools and go to Catalog Target and Coordinates. So we're looking for, if I can hit the search for some reason. Oh yeah, there we go. Needed to select that, my bad. M16. Whoops. The Eagle Neb. Looks good. I'm going to have to switch Pete's cam. Is Pete's cam still not working? Really quickly see if I can refresh Pete's cam for us. Because what is an imaging session without Pete's cam? Yeah, it's well behind, isn't it? Look at that. Oh dear. This is what it should look like. So this is actually live. We'll use this a second, I guess. So I'll just switch over my view. Click start. Switch back. Do you know, guys, I think we're just in the trees still. So it might be we need to come back to this in about 20 minutes or something like that. I'll just shut down the manual Pete's cam there for a sec. Crikey, I wish this thing would behave itself sometimes. Probably won't have this kind of issue with a normal sky cam, eh? Let's take a look at this. Coordinates failed due to the solve and sync procedure failed. Okay. A little bit more information would go amiss, sharp gap, but you do you. There is the pillars, as we can see. It is present. Maybe I'll need to increase the field of view to give it a chance to find more usable stars. Let's give that a go real quick. We'll go with a longer exposure too. We'll try 15 seconds. And see if we can't find it. Oh, yeah, you can clearly see the trees now, at least. Not ideal. Just 2 seconds. Let's see if we can see anything on this next frame. C2021 S3. What elevation is that, Brody? Is it up for me here in the UK? Where can I check? Indeed. That would be a good ask. My Stellarium is unfortunately not up to, not fully up to date. SH2124. Hang about 60 degrees in London. Oh, it should be definitely doable then. C2021 S3. Does anybody have coordinates available for that? I'll go ahead and turn off. Excuse me. Sorry for dry throating at you, but I'll turn off the coordinates for that, and we'll see if we can't find the C2021 target real quick, and then we'll come back to the Eagle straight after. And Astro Capturer suggested SH2124 potential. Potentially, yeah. M asks, what's your ball there? It's ball 7, mate. I should really put some of this basic information up on perhaps a banner or something. That'd be useful. Oh, crikey. Milkman, thank you very much indeed for that gift. 10 gifted memberships. That's absolutely incredibly kind of you, mate. Thank you again. Scott Phoenix, enjoy the rest of your night. I'm off to process some Aurora photos from last month. Excellent, Scott. Well, I hope you have fun with that one. Welcome, by the way, to all the new members. Very, very glad to have you. And sorry I'm asking so much of you, Brody, but I really appreciate that as well, mate. 20, 35, 39. We're looking at plus 57. 4603. 4603. Very good. Let's load that up. I know it won't show it on Nina, but at least we can see using the calculator and make sure we look like we're safe before I hit go, because last time it tried to do a bit of a runaway maneuver, which I wasn't very sure about. And oh, crikey. Chris now as well with 5 gifted memberships. That's incredibly kind of you as well. Thank you again, by the way, Milkman and Galaxy Crab. Welcome to the memberships. Yeah, a lot of gifted memberships have gone out tonight, mate. It's been an absolutely mad one. Oh, no worries at all, Brody. I don't think it was your fault. I'm sure it's just how I entered things. This... Why is it not showing correctly after I just entered those coordinates? 2035, 39, plus 57. I shouldn't have to put a plus, should I? But there we go. Just try to load once again. So LDN 1041. The little calculator hasn't updated down in, if I just try to show you below Pete's cam down there, it's still showing for M16. Very oddly. I recognize this region up here. That's near the fireworks galaxy, isn't it? So, who knows? Making the most of those little emojis there, Galaxy Crab. Nice one. I think there's been more gifted memberships tonight than there are people watching. Yeah, there has been absolutely mad, mate. I'm crying on the inside. Crikey. I wish there were a way I could figure out how to do it myself, mate. I'm sorry. We will try and go to these coordinates. Let's give that a go, and we'll see if we can hit Comet for Brody. With any luck, we're not going to get a crazy runaway mount or anything tonight, but if we do, we know what to do. So, all right. If that looks okay to you, Brody, we'll just go for it, mate. If it's in that region, then, you know, so be it. So, slew and center. Skycam, if it'll work. Crikey. Skycam's locked up again. Pete's cam, rather. Okay. Well, the scope looks safe. Anyway, I've just watched it slew, so with any luck, should be able to see the comet. Have you ever done the Hidden Galaxy? I have, Milkman, yeah. I'm just trying to think where the image is now. Sure, I've got one somewhere. You have to turn on being able to accept gifted memberships. I can't remember offhand where it is, though. Never knew that, actually. That is good to know. Now then, can we see this comet? I'm assuming it should be present in the center field of view. With any luck, I am using a dual narrowband filter, so it's not, you know, not ideal for this. But let's see if we go with a 15-second sub. No need to loop it. We'll just, no, I'll save it really. We'll just see if we can spot the comet in this field of view, and then we'll know whether we can go ahead or not. Ouch. If you hit the super chat button, there's an option for memberships. Yeah, I do remember YouTube sending me an email telling me there was a way that I could gift out some subs as well. I just can't see why it doesn't work properly for me. It's an odd one. I'll have to get that figured out though, guys, because I'm sure I do get some allotted that I can just, you know, dole out. Currently, I think, yeah, your chances of getting a gifted sub when you're not live on the stream, though, are just totally random, I suspect. I think I've got a little bit over 16,000 subscribers now, so chances probably pretty low if you're not actually present on the stream. Obviously, they're going to someone, which is really good, but yeah. The telescope should have names. My two main rigs are called Wally and George. What the heck when I name my telescope? That's a good question. You know, I've never really thought of it. I can't see the comet in this field of view. Can you see it, Brody? Or is maybe that very small nucleus right there, perhaps, if that is indeed what we're looking at? It's hard for me to Google stuff while streaming as well. See 2023. The comet's name again. C2021 S3. That's it. Pan-stars. Just trying to do a little bit of preliminary Googling. There we go. How does one get gifted these memberships? I can barely see the screen through my tears. It's just a random chance, mate. Whenever someone gifts subs, or you can join manually. I have tiers available. Tiers upon the tiers. Right from 99p. It doesn't. You aren't missing out, by the way, by not being a member. I do try to keep everything on my channel free of access, you know what I mean, to everybody. I don't want to gatekeep anything, or, you know, have stuff locked up behind paywalls and whatnot. But yeah, it is what it is. Gifted memberships go to who is active the most. Perhaps, mate, yeah. Direct your wet. That's good advice there from SMA's guy. Well, as it seems I can't see this comet in this field of view, I'm going to say we should look at, oh my goodness, Pete. Pete. What do I do to deserve this much support, mate? That's absolutely mad. Crikey. You're an absolute legend, mate. You really are. I feel bad. Do you know what I mean? I don't know what to do. That's so kind of you, mate. I know, Pete. Pete, everybody's chanting your name, mate. It's with good reason. Maybe I should call my scope Pete as well. Crikey. Oh, thank you, by the way. It's not even gifting. That is odd. I wonder what's going on. Maybe YouTube's flagged me for extreme support. I don't know. Pete broke the gifted memberships. Yeah, it's not designed for this amount of load. They only allowed so much. Mark, gotta shoot Luke. Work in the morning. Catch up with the stream tomorrow. Have fun. Clear skies chat. Hey, thank you. And Pete, leg end indeed. Yes, indeed. Have a good one, Mark. Thanks very much indeed for spending some time, buddy. Trying to figure out their cut, yeah. They've had to employ a new taxman just to cover Pete's donations on this channel. It's unbelievable. Crikey. Zoom into the center. I did have a little look, Brody. I'm assuming it's that little bugger right there. If so, I think dual narrowband isn't the way for being able to view this one. Rest 11 is called Pete and he has his own cam. That's it. That's the one. Let's see if Pete's cam is actually working again, by the way, now. I've given it a minute, so... Ooh, we have a live timer again. 1:24. It's a little bit behind. It's showing... I don't know why it's showing 6 minutes behind, but it is. 6 minutes behind is better than not working at all, so we've got that. It is extreme support. It is indeed. Like I say, I'm in awe at the kindness on display. I really, really am. I just feel like if you've ever heard of like imposter syndrome, though, as well, like you wonder, why me? What am I doing to deserve this? That's definitely a factor too, in a nice way. Let's see. 28 subs on M16 now, Chris. Oh, you're taunting me with M16, mate. I'm gonna have to try again. Let's see if we can get on it now. Unless you ran into the beer 6 minutes ago. No, Steve, don't say that, mate. Let's just check. Alright, so let's go ahead and get aligned. I'm going to rush off into the observatory and see what we can see. Slew and center. Pete's cam if it'll move. Might be just in the clear. By the look of this, we could just be outside of the trees, looking up the side of the scope. Greetings from Tampa, Florida, USA. Hey there, Leo. Good to have you in the chat, mate. Question: why do you have vignetting with that amazing scope? The vignetting isn't as bad as it looks, I will be honest. So there is M16. I'll demonstrate to you what I'm talking about in just a second. Pretty completely calibrates out with just a few flats. And the vignetting is more than it should be because I had to 3D print some custom parts in order to reduce internal reflections, which were absolutely ruinous on my images. So if we take a look, by the way, to describe this vignetting to you. So if I right click, it gives me mean values. You can see the bottom value right there on the screen. Currently 837 mean values, 836, 837, round about the middle of the screen. That darkest patch in the corner is only down at 814, so it's percent. Do you know what I mean? It's not actually much vignette, it's just the screen stretch is so extreme. that it looks a lot worse than it is. Hope that explains that one for you. We are on the Eagle, so it's all hands on deck. Let's see if we can get some shots taken of this thing. I'm trusting that the focus is still good enough, so let's dive straight into sharp cap and go for it, you know what I mean? You guys are okay with this? We don't need the full field of view for this, as we really are just interested in the Eagle, I would say. 2560 by 1440. Brody suggested that we flip horizontally before we make a start. Oh yeah, try flipping horizontal. There we go. I'm glad that went through okay. Leo, I've got a bad habit of, I think, sometimes over-explaining things or tripping up over my own explanation halfway through it. Ooh, do we go a little bit bigger? Decision time. God, it looks super duper. Oh, that's why. I'm running display histogram stretch at the same time. Let's turn that off. So this is unstretched now. This is linear stuff. Does it look to be, if I just stretch it once again real quick, in the correct orientation? Does that look about right? Or are we wrong? M16. Neb. So. It looks like we just rotated 180 degrees now from what would commonly be, you know, the most shot views of this thing, I think. If we turn off flipping altogether, it goes that way, which is mirrored. Do you know what I mean? So you were right with your flip selection. If we flip both horizontally and vertically, can we get it into an interesting looking field of view? I wonder. Zeus cam, Chris asks, indeed it is, mate. Yeah, the full frame Zeus. So Astro Island, good question. What we're actually looking at right here is this is a super duper stretched live feed, if you will. So in a moment we'll start live stacking. That looks correct. They just needed vertical flipping actually. Yeah, we'll turn this off and you'll see Astro Island in just a moment. If I go maybe let's say 30-second subs for this, we'll give it a good chance at looking purdy, shall we? And if these aren't working, we'll shorten it back up to 15 seconds again. You should see this start to develop and look much more like the images from last live stream. Yeah. Let's just see. There we go. Yeah, that looks right, doesn't it, Brody? I just pulled up a reference image and tried to copy that. So let's go ahead and try to start balancing things up just a touch. We are looking extremely low, and this is right above now a neighbouring roof, so there's atmospheric disturbance to worry about looking through so much of the air column as we're looking at a low angle, and also quite simply heat bleeding out of a neighbouring roof as well, which is ruining the scene. But it is what it is. We can see the Eagle, you know what I mean? Doesn't look too bad. It's really low in the sky from up here in Scotland. I've never really tried to image it properly, says Pete. Yeah, I mean, it surprises me that you can actually even really see it, to be honest, mate. It's it's one of those targets I always just thought really was more of a target not for this country, put simply. Are you playing a flat frame to the live stack as well in sharp cap? I am indeed, Dave, yeah. I took some flats the other night and we just continued on using them for this session too. I'll just adjust the live stack a little bit. We were a little bit aggressively stretched, I'd say, there, so it looked kind of bad, but try to recolor balance just a touch. Yeah, it's looking reasonable. I think the atmosphere's a mess at the minute. I'm pretty sure the scope should still be in focus. But the stars still look a touch bloated, don't they? So probably seeing. Sorry, I was asking you why I don't have vignetting with my Skywatcher Esprit 150 using an ASI 2600. It's not a similar configuration, but it's a similar field of view. Very interesting. Yeah. I imagine your field of view is quite a lot tighter than mine, actually, with the Esprit 150 and an APS-C. This field of view right here is just, of course, a small region of interest crop from a full frame camera at 620 mils of focal length there, Leo. The reason I'm not stacking the full frame is because it nearly causes my little mini PC that's outside doing the live stacking where just viewing a stream of to nearly combust, basically, mate. George, glad you like it, George. Yeah, it's nice to see these kinds of targets. M16 right there, looking pretty swift, if I do say so myself. I like it. This has always been one of my favorite targets, you know. M16. I think right from being a kid and looking at it in, you know, books and whatnot. 50 gig sub. A good website. I don't know if you already know about this, Leo, but checking out field of views. So astronomy tools, calculators, field of view. I'll just open this. You say you're using a 2600 and an Esprit 150. So Esprit 150, if no reducer, then it's 1050mm focal length. And if I just use ASI cameras for this, so 2600 on, for example, M1, that's your kind of field of view. Quite a nice usable field of view, actually. I do like that. Mine would look like this, just for the sake of demonstrating this tool to you. Oops, Rasa 11. Yeah. So, pretty wide field by comparison. Useful sight, I find. Really cool for comparing things. But yeah, M16, not looking too bad. Let's see. My cell phone wallpaper is M16 that I took, says Bull Ball. That's really cool, mate. Esprit 150 has a 44mm image circle, so more than enough for APS-C. Absolutely, yeah. Not actually sure what the imaging circle is on the Rasa. They always say it's fine for full frame, as is the Esprit, of course. But I've never really found out exactly what it is. Wombat says, I nearly threw a 32 gig memory stick in your Minis Forum PC. Oh, you did throw one in. That's helped a lot. And I upgraded the internal Wi-Fi card to Wi-Fi 6. Very nice. Can you ask for this by requesting Freebird? Yeah. Yes, you can, and I'll know what you mean. Telescopius also has a field of view feature. It does indeed, mate. Yeah. I've got all my my scopes saved on that one. It's pretty useful. Don Key. I don't know if that's a play on donkey or if you are actually called Don Key, but all the same, regardless, welcome. Good evening, everyone, from Sarnia, Ontario. Sarnia. Cool. The Triffid suggests Ben. I've touched it before from here, mate, but it's a tricky one. The the telescope's aperture is half pointed at the observatory wall to be able to image it from here. Give a try at SH2124. It's at Cygnus, and your field is nice for that, says Astro Capturer. My nickname, yeah. got you, mate. SH2124. Let's go ahead and take a little bit of a look in Nina at that one. So SH2124. There we go. load this up and see what we get. Ooh. Cold coffee. Don't like it. Nice little bonus for me. Oh, yes, indeed. Ooh, that looks like a faint target, mate. Is it between the tree and the wall? Ben, honestly, mate, it actually is. It's unbelievably tight down there. Let's see. Why don't you use Stellarium, says Steve. Sometimes I do, Steve. Not normally for planning and framing things up or anything like that. I have tried in the past to plug it into my imaging runs, but it's a little bit resource heavy for that kind of thing to have Stellarium running in the background when you're just running Stellarium scope. Don is asking, what camera are you using, if I may ask? By all means, mate, it's an IMX455 based camera, so just like an ASI 6200. It's a one-shot color. It's by Player One, and it's called the Zeus. So it's a lovely camera. I had it sent through for review and stuff, and I'm just enjoying using it, you know what I mean, while it's here. Titch says, still going on the Crescent, just going to give the dome a shove. I never realised. So you manually keep nudging the dome, eh? That's cool. NGC 6188, Fighting Dragons of Ara. Not for me, mate. That's a southern target, that one. I'd love to image that one day, though. Big Lease asks for the NAM, the North America. Neb. Yeah, we could go back on North America. I only managed to get a couple of subs done on that, mate, before it went south. This does look like an interesting region, the SH2 part, but it looks kind of faint for EAA. I'm sure we could pick it up, but I like to see some colour. Yeah. I'll tell you what, we will give NGC 7000 just a quick bash. You're down for that. Fighting Dragons is a lovely target, yeah. I keep getting teased by my Australian mates with that one. They're always posting new pictures of it. James Bonza, gotta go. Enjoyed the session and learned a few things about SharpCap. Thank you. Hey, you're more than welcome, James. I'm so glad to have had you, mate. Thank you for joining in. Kevin Rudd asks, how about the Iris? I've been imaging all night and nice and high. That would be definitely a good one if I was using a UV IR cut filter, but as I'm using dual narrowband, with the Iris not giving out anything really in the emission wavelengths that those filters pass, would see almost nothing, unfortunately, on that thing. Homemade dome, 155 quid off eBay. Crikey. That's awesome. Tarantula Nebula. Ooh. Yeah, I think, like I say, someone asked over stream, like, what would be my favourite southern target to image, and it used to be the Carina Nebula, but I think I'd like to image the large and small Magellanic Clouds at some point. That'd be pretty cool. Keep it for a normal astrophotography session then, not for EAA. We could maybe slew to it, mate, and see if we can see anything. I'm down for that, but I should really put it back on SharpCap a minute, because this has been quietly stacking up in the background, and I've not been paying attention to it. But yeah, M16, a little region of interest crop, denoted there by the red box on the right hand side. You can see that's what portion of the sensor it's using to show us this region. Looks pretty good, I'd say, for a scope that's not really optimized for punching deep into nebula, especially nebula that are this low. It hasn't done bad. I imagine with a bit of BlurXTerminator and stuff, this would start to look pretty darn nice, I would say. M17, is that the Omega Nebula or the Swan? That's even lower than the Eagle in it. I think we might possibly be able to see that. Oh, are you going, George? Really nice of you to stop by, mate. I hope you have a cracking day. About Saloon to the Wizard got suggested as well. Ooh. The Wizard is a good call. Yeah, I'd like to see that target again this year. Let's see. Might have a look at SH2115. I imaged it last week from Black Forest, Colorado. The 8-inch Hyperstar. Very nice. What are the best targets with the Optilong L enhanced filter? So really it's emission nebula. That's what we want to be going after. Or planetary nebula or supernova remnants. They're all very strong in the wavelengths that these filters actually let through. Everything else is kind of blocked, you see. So, yeah. Small and large magellanic clouds are really nice to see just with the naked eye. Oh, mate. Yeah, that would be beautiful. Is the lagoon up in your sky? I think it's a bit low, you know, Wombat. And, yeah, not really possible from here. I will just search, actually, real quick. A few of these targets that you're suggesting. Someone said SH2115. Take a quick look at that on the screen, and we'll pick, I guess, a last target or something to take a peek at, or maybe a last two or something like that. And we'll also see just how low the other targets are. If I just turn off the sky cam, Pete's cam, for a minute. Oh, I see that region now. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I guess with my my setup, I could maybe move it across and catch some more of this region as well. Bernard 345. There's a lot to see there, isn't there? Pretty cool. Just above the region that we're imaging, actually, that, isn't it? Neat. Someone else suggested M17. I think it's just a touch too low. Is that one, Brody? I just load the image. So what we're currently imaging is the Eagle, which was up at about 21-ish degrees by now. M17 is even lower at 19.72 degrees. Whew, just below the Eagle. We could maybe try if you want. Yeah, if you guys are happy with that. This is 11 minutes of data that we're looking at, so pretty nifty. But all the same, can't stay on it all night. We're just doing EAA, aren't we? So, yeah, nice to see. I'll turn off Nina's connection to the camera, reconnect up in here, and let's see if we can't frame this up. It's a pity I didn't have it just rotated. I probably could have got the Eagle and the Omega in there, but if we just point it like so, no fancy framing, I can trust that this is going to slew safely, as it's not got far to go at least. Let's just see. Still on the Eagle. Thought you were thinking about going elsewhere. Yeah, well, I'm absolutely up for looking at some other targets. Titch. Come to Trinidad, the sweet spot of astrophotography. We're just a little above the equator, so we've got the northern and a few of those popular southern objects. Very nice. Well, it looks like we can image M17. So let's have a quick bash at that, eh? Why not? Yeah, looks good. So this is slewed. I kind of feel like we maybe should try to autofocus at this point. I'm not sure. It looks like it's a little bit out to me again. I am going to autofocus. Let's see what happens. Omega, yeah. 20-mile-an-hour gusts for you now, Chris. Yeah, we had those earlier, unfortunately, but it was just absolutely nightmarish. Can you see the tarantula when it's at its peak? No, Damien. I think that's well below the horizon for me, basically at all times. Yeah, I reckon a couple of hours on M16. As you've just said there, Pete, a little while on M16 with BXT and things like that, I think it would actually turn out to be quite a nice image, all things considered. I actually took a quick look at M16, you know, with the Edge 11. Look at a short image of it, Pete, and see if I can find it for you real quick. So yeah, here's a crop. of M16 taken with the Edge HD 11. So this is just 12 1-minute shots and no filter. So this isn't dual narrow unfiltered or anything like that, but at that long focal length, you can actually see already quite a lot of detail in the pillars. Some of the smaller stars are getting split as well. This was, of course, with BlurXTerminator applied, but after just, 12 minutes of data, unfiltered, can't knock it really. Pretty happy with that. Is NGC 6888 up where I am? It is indeed, mate. That's the Crescent Nebula, if I'm not mistaken. Excuse me, I keep getting a rough throat. Oh, crikey. Chris, thank you very much indeed for that, mate. That's very kind of you. £4 donation. That's it's cracking. Ouch. I need a new chair. This thing's killing me sometimes. What targets are on your southern horizon? This is really about the lowest that I can go, Damien. Like I said, the lowest I actually have gone is the Trifid. But to do that, half the aperture is blocked by the observatory wall, unfortunately. Omega Centauri would be about on the horizon. Yeah, probably so, mate. I think the autofocus is finished and we're going to start guiding now. With any luck, it does actually look like it's dropped the HFR from the start point to the end from 196 to 187. So that's a good sign. I'll go ahead, plug the camera back in over on SharpCap. I'm over on a short live stack on this thing. Clouds appearing in Manchester, says Green Cat. Oh no. Oh no. Just catching up on chat. Thank you again, by the way, for that kind gift, Chris. I connected up, didn't I? The camera. So we'll just use that same little crop of the field of view. Definitely go ahead and reset that stretch a touch. Not sure why it's green. That's an odd one, guys. Yeah, that is a weird one. I'll just clear and see what's going on. We'll go back to 15-second exposures for a second. That looks to be the correct colour. Wonder if it's ended up getting itself mixed up somehow. Can you get row a fucus? I can't, Ron, no. Not from this location, mate. That looks a little bit better, eh? Let's go ahead and apply a little bit of a black level stretch. And mids. So what we're looking at right now is 15 seconds on M17 Omega Nebula. And now we're at 30 seconds. You can see it's starting to stack up and look pretty nice. I think, oops, last session someone suggested that I move Pete's cam to the top corner for this kind of thing. Is that any better for you guys? So you can see what I'm doing with the histogram too, and you can watch the stacks total exposure rising. Are you able to see Andromeda? Oh, you're asking Damien. Got ya, sorry. Do you have any preference for any refractors in the 50 to 80 mil range, asks Kyrak. Good question. There's a lot of good refractors in that range. The Esprit 80, really good scope. I owned one of those, always regretted parting with it. I've still got on loan for review a Starfield 60 quadruplet. Excellent little telescope if you're looking for something around 300 mil field of view. Yeah, there's a lot of good options, to be honest. If you're looking for something like a quadruplet, though, then yeah, some of those sharp star quads, the like I said, the Starfield quad that I've tested, been really happy with that. I've got an in-depth video on that on my channel if you're interested in seeing it actually get properly tested as well. Hope that helps. Upside down swan got sick. What program do you use to broadcast? Steve asks. So I try to plug everything into OBS, that's Open Broadcaster, and that's what I use for this kind of thing. Indeed, when I'm making YouTube videos as well that involve working on my desktop. Sorry, I'm yawning at you. I'm a bit tired from today. I use OBS to record my screen at that same time as well, and you know, have the face cam on there as well. Yeah, it's hard to figure it out. It is a confusing piece of software, mate, to begin with. But once you've started getting stuff plugged in, it's not too bad. Do you know what I mean? I'd say if it's something you're interested in doing, then there's probably a few YouTube tutorials out there that can help you getting it set up, basically. Oh, excuse me. I've come over all tired. So we'll stay on the Swan for a couple of minutes. And then we'll maybe move on to one more target real quick, I guess, before we lose the end of the night. Brody's got to go. See you later. Hey, thanks very much for stopping by the stream, Brody. As always, mate, it's been a good one. Hope you have a cracking day. You did a live Facebook broadcast a few times and it worked pretty good. Ah, nice. So did you live stream to Facebook from OBS then, I take it? Or is it some sort of Facebook-centric software that you can do it with? I got you. Kevin Stratvert has a really good video for setting up OBS. Interesting. I think, yeah, there's still some bits I'd like to figure out on it. I think one of the things I really need to get sorted is this Skycam. I'm having to use RTSP connection to it, I think is what the name is. And while it works okay, some of the time, when you really want it to work, it seems like it just wants to lock up. Do you know what I mean? It's a bit annoying. I will try and see if having the software open at the same time. Oh, jeez, excuse me. I don't mean to keep yawning at you guys. I know that's rude. I will see if the software being open helps refresh things at all. But that's looking pretty good for 3 minutes and 45 seconds. You know what I mean? Oh, crikey. Have a couple of beers on me, Luke. Thanks for your great bits. Oh, that's really kind of you, mate. I really appreciate that. Thank you. The amount of support tonight has been overwhelming. Thank you all so much. I don't know what to say. Thank you. Do you know what I mean? It's a tough one. I don't think anyone will watch me anyway. I have no followers. You can't think like that, mate. I mean, I thought the same thing back when I started off YouTube, but I just stuck at it, a while, and it worked out okay, I think. Just consistency is the key. If you want to try and make content be a regular part of your life, yeah, you've got to be semi-consistent at the very least with your upload schedule, and then it helps send the correct notes to the algorithm that it should push your videos out a little bit more. Perhaps starting with videos can help as well. Time on peak cam is 150 still. It is, mate, yeah, it's still bloody locked up. As you can see, second hand isn't changing. You have the pretty face. I don't know about that, mate, but thank you all the same. I got the Evo Lux 82. Yeah, that's a nice scope. It was on sale, seemed pretty good if you're on a budget. Nice focuser. Ooh, 3,500. Is that Australian dollars, I assume, for the 80 Esprit? Crikey, that's expensive. I picked mine up used. Luckily, I paid £700 here in the UK for it, and I like to say I really regret getting rid of it. It was a really nice scope. In Canadian, got ya. Seems to be having some major lag issues, unfortunately, guys, with some of the chat. But hopefully it still feels nice and interactive for you guys. So this is just 5 minutes on the Amiga. And pretty impressive, I'd say. I know it's a fast telescope, so, you know, everything's in my favor when it comes to making these captures, but I'm pretty impressed all the same. There's a lot of filamentary detail going on in there. It's a complex, very complex target, isn't it? Not one I often get to see, so thank you, I think, Brody, who's gone now, but he suggested this one. So that was a really nice suggestion. Oh, crikey. David Moran, thank you very much indeed for that, mate, for the super chat. 2 hours done on the Vale Nebula. Time to leave this lay-by shortly and head back to Leeds. Cracking. Have a pie on me if you keep me entertained. Well, I will indeed, mate. That's extremely kind of you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Absolutely awesome. Oh, well, I think we've definitely sorted out paying for this new cable tonight. Crikey. I have a face for radio, so you're in good company. Ah, man. I don't know. What target shall we go on next, guys, to finish things off? I think we've got time to go for one more. We can take a little bit of a look at if you're interested. So if anybody has any last minute suggestions, let's do it. Something high up, if we can. Vale. Yeah, we could do Vale, Elephant's Trunk, Cat's Paw. Tell you what, I'll quickly add these as a poll. Last target. Vale. Elephant's Trunk. Don't know if the Cat's Paw is imageable for me. Let me just double check. I think that's too south, is it? Cat's Paw Neb. Yeah, it's actually below the horizon, unfortunately, that one. Wizard Nebula. That was another really good suggestion. Wizard Neb. And Resent. Okay, starting a poll real quick. You guys can decide what the last target is going to be out of those. Heart and Soul, the Ball, and Penis Nebula. When someone said that to me, mate, the first time, I just couldn't unsee it, unfortunately. So it's been ruined for me as well. You've inspired me to go after NGC 7000 this evening. I'll be sleeping though. Oh, mate, nice one. Well, the very best of luck to you on your NGC 7000 capture. A beautiful one. Sam asks, are there any galaxies? Unfortunately, Sam, we're not set up for galaxies right now, as we've got the wrong type of filter in. We'd see something, but it would just be attenuated starlight through a narrowband filter, effectively, so it wouldn't look very good. Let's see. The Heart. I think the Heart Nebula is behind the house for me at the minute, unfortunately. Just so we know for next future streams. Ooh, yeah, 30 odd degrees. Might be just a bit too low. So the Wizard Nebula is winning with 65% of the vote. Wizard Nebula, if the thing would prompt, doesn't seem to want to. Did not recognize it as the Wizard. I'll have to find its NGC designation. If I could type, I've just typed it wrong 3 times. NGC 7380, that's it. 7380. Very nice. Okay. Looks like Wizard Nebula's won. So, yeah, we'll go on that one. Of course, there are going to be other nights, you know, for EAA that we can check out all sorts of things. Is the horse head in view for you? Asks Chuggy. Unfortunately, not at this time of the year, Chuggy, but he will be later on. October, November time, I'll start to be able to see the horse head again, as well as Orion and all that kind of good stuff. So that's our field of view for this thing. Let's go ahead and just, I'll save that view, just 9 minutes of data right there. And we will crack on as quick as we can, as dawn is about to start breaking actually, very shortly. So framing, slew and center. I am going to have to just go watch the camera. I don't want to make any mistakes and have this cable get broken, so back in a sec. I'm sorry about the laggy Pete's cam again, guys. It's done us once more. This is what it actually looks like right there. So you can see it's really rather well elevated. Is the wizard? No cable hiccups. You'll be glad to hear. And there it is on the plate solving exposure. I think we'll just have to trust that focus is okay. As we're really biting into our last bit of available time now. What number is the wizard? NGC 7380. Done. Let's just see. Steve, I can't. It's you just can't not see it now he's mentioned it. Crikey. With the RASA, how long does it take for you to begin seeing the details of the squid nebula? Good question. I haven't actually gone after the squid with this thing. I may have tried one sub or something like that, but never really gone after it with any great purpose. I'd imagine a 5-minute sub might start to show the very faintest little bits, just starting to hint at their existence. Yeah, we'll leave it at that. Let's just change the camera over. Reconnect in SharpCap. Aside from a host that could read faster and keep up with chat better, what else would you like to see added to these streams, guys? Is there anything else that's really standing out as lagging behind and needing sorting? I am open to suggestions. Kick off guiding on that thing and see if we can guide again now. Hopefully wind's died down enough that we can perhaps go after some, I don't know, 60-second subs. We'll go full frame, just so we've had one full frame image tonight. I'll clear that off. In fact, I'll clear the whole live stack. Like it's probably not going to behave itself properly. And I'm going to turn off the flip just in case we were mixed up. Eatable Panic, I know you are. How's it going, Josh? How's it going, mate? My brother-in-law. With the RASA. Sorry, I've got that one up. I have an M101 that is okay but lacks HA regions. Okay. Would shooting some frames through the L Extreme help you get some of those elusive pinks? It would indeed. Yeah, it would indeed. That would be a good spend of your time. I wouldn't, sink hours and hours into it, Gadas, but yeah, a few subs, absolutely. You could probably integrate them. No problem. I've got to turn on my notifications so I know when you live stream. No problem. Let's see. Trying to catch up a little bit. Have you done the overlay of your horizon for the Sky Atlas software? I haven't done that, Psycho. No, that's something I really should do. That looks majorly overcooked. Don't know what the heck is going on there. I remember last time we had this issue, the first sub came in and it looked super duper strange. Let's see what happens on this second one. And we'll try once again. See if it behaves itself. I'll cut down to a short amount, see if we can force a new exposure real quick. So 4 seconds. That looks normal coloured now. Go back to up to a minute and try once more. Continual battle, I think, is astrophotography. It's always just fault finding and trying to fix things on the fly, you know what I mean? Maybe some planetary when they get high enough with the 11 edge. Absolutely, Titch. Yeah, I'd love to do that kind of thing as part of a live stream. I think it'd be fun. Don says, you're doing a great job. We'll be tuning in for more. Thank you, Don. Really good to hear that, mate. Do you use an off-axis guider? Steve is asking. So an off-axis guider is not suitable for the raster, of course, as you likely know. I don't much like them myself, but I have to admit they are a necessary evil at times, off-axis guiders. I had to use them on my Edge HD11, basically, mate. What's gone on here now? We seem to have had another failed sub. This is looking really strange, guys. I'm going to go back down to 15 seconds and simplify matters. No longer are we going after that full frame. I'm going to have to creep back, otherwise we're going to get nothing done before dawn breaks. And let's see now if things are going to behave. Goodness knows what's going on tonight, but yeah, it's a rough one sometimes. We need a voiceover. Night, by the way, to Damien. What's your current plate solver in Nina? Astap? Bass Biker? Yeah, Astap, mate. That's what I'm using. Alright, we've got stars. That's a good sign. Wonder if it's not been behaving because I've tried undoing the flip, maybe. Tough one. Constant troubleshooting is why I like the hobby. Oh man, I wish sometimes it'd just be an easy night though, you know what I mean? We're just slightly missing the wizard there, unfortunately. We are on it enough. But yeah. Good night, Luke. Cheers. Cheers, mate. Hey, cheers to you too. Dave, really nice to join in. It's been a good session, as always. Starting to have some trouble balancing this background, I think. A little bit too much dawn light coming in, maybe. Let's see. Have you ever tried the Nina Live Stack plugin? I haven't actually, mate. No, never gave it a go. I perhaps should. Just never really got around to it. I always found that SharpCap did a good enough job with a lot of interesting features that I like. So usually I stick to this when I want to do some live stacking, or using simply its folder monitor live stacking feature if I'm running a normal Nina imaging session and making captures in that. Do you have any tips for guiding on very badly shaped off-axis guider stars? Ooh. Well, if you don't yet have the shadow of your off-axis guider's prism causing troubles in your field of view, drop your prism further down, as the closer you can get it to the actual, you know, on-axis performance of your telescope, then the better shaped the stars will be, effectively, mate. So that'd be my first protocol, would be checking just how much further you could push your prism down into the cone of light entering the telescope, and that should get you better shaped stars. Regarding the stream, I'd appreciate it if the overlays were smaller, shrunk, or cropped. No problem. So if I drop down that a little bit, and that a little bit, don't think we're covering too much there now, I'd say. Isaac, is that alright? You have a fan? That's awesome. Fixing things on the fly requires small tools. Oh, okay, I get you. Let's see. Pretty impressive we're able to pick up so much detail in the wizard for just 15-second subs. With the sky as bright as it is as well. We are actually into dawn, starting to break now. If you just take a look at Nina's dark sky wizard there, you can see we are now into actual dawn, unfortunately. Have you ever tried binning on your guide camera? Yes, I have indeed, mate. Oh, it looks like we've stacked a bad frame there. That's a bit of a sucky one to finish on. Look at the state of that. It's had a real trouble recovering from that divot. I think we're better off at this point not guiding until the weather and stuff starts behaving itself a bit better. It can be useful, yeah, can bin in on your guide camera, especially if you're using an off-axis guider. You'll almost always want to bin that guide camera, as you don't need to be imaging at that sort of small pixel scale. But when using something, let's say like my Evo guide 50ED out there, binning would probably make guiding a little bit too inaccurate for me, as with this particular camera I'd be using effectively 9 micron pixels, which is a little bit coarse. Big hammers fix everything. Keep the good work. Let's see. Just remove the scope cam since it's frozen. Yeah, I'm hoping that it picks back up, mate, to be honest. That's why I've left it on there, to keep an eye on it. Bit annoying, I agree. Not much I can do, though, right now without actually, going out there and trying to unplug, replug, and then I'd have to, unfortunately, reset up the camera as it would assign itself a new address. It's a bit annoying. Let's see. Can't lower the prism any further without impinging on the main sensor. Any other suggestions? Ooh. Well, I'd say you're a little bit stuck there, Isaac, in that situation, mate. You are aligned. I know it should. Obviously, I'm probably teaching you how to suck eggs here, but you are aligned along the longest part of the sensor, aren't you? And not along one side, where you'll be naturally, further out. You can guide, by the way, on pretty ugly looking guide stars, as long as they're consistently ugly. You can still figure out a centroid pretty accurately. Got to run. Thanks for all the tips and the tour of some objects I've not tried yet. Have a great day. Hey, thank you very much indeed for that, Gidas. Hope you have a good one. Sorry to jump in with unrelated and somewhat self-serving news, but I managed to track Hubble and one of the Starlink sats. That's awesome, mate. Really cool. You ought to post that to some social media and stuff for sure. Both were just tiny on my camera, but you can see the shape of the Starlink solar panel. Very nice. That's really good to hear, Steve. Yeah, get on it, mate. If you're enjoying making videos and stuff, definitely do it. I think a lot of people want to do stuff like that, but kind of talk themselves out of it. Do you know what I mean? I know I did for years before I actually finally gave it a go. And crikey, I'm glad that I did. The YouTube stuff and the support from you guys has changed my life, basically. It really has. Casey, good to see you, mate. We're actually just about to wrap up the stream, Casey. So tonight's been a bit of a chaotic one. All in, we started off, I wanted to actually just gather some data on a target which I wanted to use for a future video tutorial. That wasn't going to happen, however, because we had guide issues, which turned out to be wind issues, pushing into the scope all over, unfortunately. So to salvage the session, we decided to do some EAA and took some community suggestions on targets that we could take a look at. All the rest of it's just been chatting away with the live chat. It's on my YouTube. I'll post a link to the clip on my community tab. Nice one, mate. Time to call it a night for me. Thanks again, Luke. Hey, thank you very much indeed, Matt. I really appreciate it, mate. And yeah, I think it's just about a night for me too. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a good one. There's the wizard in all its 15-second stack glory. So we're looking at 7 minutes and 15 seconds. Oh, crikey. 7 minutes and 15 seconds there. Thank you again, Milkman. That's tremendously kind of you, mate. The support tonight has been phenomenal. It really, really has. And Pete as well, of course. I have to name my firstborn Pete at this rate. What time is it where you are, Luke? It is 2:24 in the morning, Don. Yeah, Astro Island, thanks as always, Luke. Great session. Thank you very much indeed for joining in, guys, and making it what it is. You know what I mean? Wouldn't be the same without you. Always a good time hanging out. Same, mate. Same. Do a wild stream. Yes. Do some wild camping and stream that, mate. That'd be mint. Heaven forbid. I think my hands are tied at this point, Pete. Yeah. Yeah, fantastic. But yeah, Milkman, Pete, Chris, Frankie, everybody. The support's been absolutely fantastic. Thank you all very much indeed. Could you try BXT on the M17 stack? Isaac, you know what? We can have a little look, can't we, mate? Just 2 seconds. Desktop. Let's see if we can find that stack real quick. Now, where did I save it? Can't wait for your next live stream. Fantastic, mate. That's not it. Is this another one? No, that's the same target. I've just mucked up. No, we're M27. I should look at the time, shouldn't I? What am I doing? It's probably saved in here at 1:51. This'll be it. Long day. Enjoy. Yeah. Thank you. This one M16, so M17 came after. That'll be it. So I'll just copy this across really quickly. I'll do this one for you, Isaac, and then we'll finish. But yeah, I'll save that real quick. Close that down. Minimize all this stuff. Go ahead and fire up PixInsight. I will try and get the chat back on and visible in just a moment. I'm just trying to sort this out. We'll run this very quickly through BXT for Isaac, and that'll be the end of the stream. If PixInsight would load properly, there we go. Right. Excellent. Let's fire this up. So we'll apply an SDF just so we can see what's what. Drop, boom. That'll do. We probably want to solve this. So M17. Oops. Hopefully there's enough stars visible in it. 620 376. That should be okay. Can we solve? Hopefully so. Kyrek, love being able to catch your live streams. Absolutely a blast as always. Thank you very much indeed, mate. That's really kind of you to say. Great stuff, as are all your vids. Thank you, Em. Appreciate that, mate. We'll run SPCC on this thing just so we get some decent looking colour with any luck. Alright, so here is M17 from the live stack. We'll go ahead now and just bung BlurXTerminator on it at defaults. Boo. I don't know. Have you been out drinking, bro? Let's have a look. My detail on display there from that. Pretty nice, I'd say. Just undo, redo. You can see it's made a nice big difference. And indeed, why not NoiseXTerminator real quick? Just a weak application. Yeah. Shouldn't take 2 seconds. Looks pretty nice. Hope that's been alright for you, Isaac. And yeah, that's about it from me, guys. Thank you very much indeed for watching. Thank you again for the support. You're absolutely fantastic. I will see you in the next video. And if you're at the International Astronomy Show in September, make sure you come say hi. Will do, mate. Thank you very much indeed for getting in contact. Night, Pete. Hope you have a good one, buddy. And yeah, night, everybody. Have a good day, night, whatever it is. Just make sure you have a good one. Ta-da now.